I think we're live. Hi. Hello, everyone. I just want to be sure that everyone can see me, you can hear me. Sorry for the 3 minutes music break. We put it there intentionally to give people time to join in, just relax, arrange all your materials. But hi, hello. Let me know where you are watching from. I can see some people already getting excited in the chat. Mystic Monica. Oh yeah, you couldn't see anything because we sort of had this placeholder image just to allow everybody get ready for the live stream. But hi, my name is Priscilla. This is your first time seeing me. I am a women's wear designer and I'm based in the UK. I actually dressed up for this live stream, so I'm excited if you cannot tell already. All right, so today we're going to be making a swimsuit. It will be a one-piece swimsuit, and I just tried to make it as simple as possible. I have written down all of my steps here, so if I just go blank for some reason, I can go back to this. But I have created like a slide with an overview of all we're going to be doing today. I see some people I see Andrea Sandiford. Let me know if I said your name right. I always get people's names wrong. From Barbados. I see Crystal Ann Edwards from Trinidad. Hey. I see Corinne Sterling from Jamaica. Hi. Oh, my Nigeria people are in the house. Repping as usual. Hi, I see Say What Now ? From Texas. Veronica from Spain. Thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate your time and I hope the next 2 hours will go really, really well. All right, so let's get into the overview real quick. Let me know if you can see the page. It will come up pretty soon. I should just say that there is something like a lag of like 20 seconds from when I say something to when you guys see it. So just shall wait for the ball to keep rolling and hopefully it will make a lot of sense. So we are going to start off by going through all the materials we need. So I'm just sure that we all have like everything that we need to create the swimsuit. We'll go through the measurements as well. I hope everyone was able to like take their measurements before time. Else I'll just give like 5 minutes for us to quickly take our measurements if anyone didn't have that. Then we'll go through just some things like the competition, how to use super chats, super stickers, and super thanks for anyone who is joining in now. And then we'll get into the pattern making. I think my aim is to at least create the pattern for the front, the back, I want to call it like the bust part bag, can we call it that? The part where you shop with your bust pads, that piece, and then a little piece for the crouch area. So if we can make all those patterns, cut and then start sewing, that way even if we don't finish sewing the swimsuit today, in your own free time you can complete it. This is just a way to just manage expectations. So if it's 6 o'clock and we're not done, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You can just continue on your own. I will stay and finish my swimsuit, so you're welcome to stay as well. But once we're done with the pattern, cutting and sewing, we can then do like a mini show off at the end if you're still around. All right, now that I'm out of breath, let's just talk through some of the materials I have here on my lovely table. Gosh, guys, I've actually rearranged my entire space. Not me. George has done an amazing work of rearranging my space. So like we have this lovely display here and I have this space to create my patterns. I see more people from Nigeria in the house. What's up? What's good? What time is it where you are? It is currently 4:07 GMT. Just let me know what time you are watching this wherever you are. I see Yinka from Nigeria. I see Renessa Ortiz. That is such a nice name. From Trinidad and Tobago. Hi, what's up? I see Juanita from South Africa. I hope I said your name right. It just looked like that's how you pronounce the name. I see AE29PA from London. Hi. Oh, same time there. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, 5 p.m. in South Africa. So it's not too bad. 10 a.m. Wow, that's early. 11 a.m. Oh, that's true. The US is really, that's true. 8 hours difference. Well, thank you. I appreciate this so much. This is like my second live stream. and I'm hoping that it goes smoothly, it goes well, and we're able to create something fabulous together. Okay, let's go through the materials quickly. Let me know if you can see this table space. Can we all see the table? Are we good? Are we Gucci? 4:08 p.m. More Niger people in the house. Ah, you but as in Nigerians, none of the carry last at all. You never let me down. Okay, let's talk through the materials I have on here. I'm just going to go through the list and ensure that I have it here and you have it as well. And if you don't, you can just quickly grab it in the meantime. So the first material on the list is the swimsuit fabric, and mine is this really nice marble print. It has some, I want to call it like metallic shades of gold, black, silver, and I have 1 meter of this. This is a nice stretchy fabric. Stretches this way and this way as well, so it's two-way stretch. I only have 1 meter of this one because I'm going to be making a swimsuit that is just like 1 layer. It's not going to be reversible. Once that is out of the way, I also got myself some, I want to call these, like, they call them bust cups. I got this from Fabric Land. I have this because I have saggy boobs. I don't know about anybody else. So whenever I buy swimwear, there always has to be some kind of support in there. So I got this one that is kind of thin, and this is what it looks like. It's a pair, and I'm going to be putting this inside my swimsuit to give me support and just cover my girls while I'm swimming if I get to use this. Next thing on the list we need is they said this is swimwear elastic. This is what it looks like. So it's kind of like rubbery. It doesn't look like the normal one that you would use for like waistbands and cuffs, the type that have the ridges. This one is just nice and smooth. You can also use the transparent one. The reason why they recommend using this one is it's more durable against like chlorine and water and wear and tear over time. That's why I grabbed this one, and this is what I would recommend. I'll let you guys know how I get along once I start to use this. This one I just got like 5 meters in the pack. I won't finish everything, but I say you would need like 1 to 2 meters of the rubber. Other things we're going to need is the usual suspects in the house: pattern master, set square, pen, pencil, all of these to help me create my sewing patterns. I have my pattern paper beside me. Once we start making the pattern, I'll clear the table and bring on my pattern paper. I also have my scissors, my paper scissors. Please use a different scissors to cut paper and use a different one to cut fabric. Nothing makes me cry quicker than when people use fabric scissors to cut paper. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. So I have my paper scissors, fabric scissors, my small scissors for when I start sewing. I have my pins, and then a calculator for when I'm making my sewing patterns. All right, so if we're all good with the materials and you have everything ready to go, are we excited? Because I am. I don't know about you, but I plan to do more of this kind of live sewing streams because it allows me to really interact with you guys in real time. I also get to create something and not have to film a separate tutorial, so it's like 2-in-1 pack kind of experience. But let me know how you guys are feeling. Donna Thomas says, please save this live for us to view after also. Yes. So I am recording this. And it would be available for rewatch later on. I think the plan is to even edit it down, so it just like it cuts out like this part of me talking about things that are not related to the actual swimsuit, but it will be available for rewatch. Okay. Right. Donna is asking which one is paper. Oh, it's not Donna. Munaji is asking which one is paper scissors. It's just a regular scissors. It's usually a bit lightweight, but once you start cutting paper with a particular scissors, just cut only paper with that scissors, because if you use a fabric scissors to cut paper, you make it blunt over time. That's the reason why, like, designers usually they go crazy when they see someone using fabric scissors to cut paper. So I'm just going to set these aside, and then we can talk through the competition that is going to be happening from this live stream. If you are watching this now in real time, or if you're watching this later, there is a competition where you could possibly win £100. And to enter, all you have to do is, you know, stay active, be engaging, ask questions in the chat, so we have the energy up and going. You also would need to share your own swimsuit when you are done making this. You don't have to wear it if you don't want to wear and post a bikini picture on the internet, but you would need to share your finished swimsuit and tag me on social media at Kim Dave Designs and use the hashtag sewing with Kim. Like, those 3 rules are very, very important. So stay active in the chat, very key. Tag me on social media when you share your finished swimsuits at Kim Dave Designs, which is on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I believe is the same username. And then use the hashtag sewing with Kim, so I see your finished swimsuit. Oh, thank you, AE29PA. I see you have already started supporting the channel. I was just about to talk about supers after the competition, but thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Support like this keeps the channel growing, helps me buy materials, pay for this expensive light, and just, you know, continue to make content that you guys enjoy. Now that we have the competition out of the way, the winner will be announced on the 19th of June. So I wanted to just give people time, so that even if they don't finish their swimsuit today, or they're watching this after, they'll be able to make their swimsuit and still enter the competition. 19th of June on the community tab on YouTube, that's where the winner will be announced. So good luck. There'll be 1 winner, maybe 2, 1, we'll see. But good luck to everyone who enters, and I hope we have a great time today. Okay, all right, let me just set these to the side, put this away, so I have my table nice and clear, ready to create some patterns for you guys to see. Just clear this to the side. I just read a comment from Renee P, and this person says, I want to do a live stream sewing too, less editing lol. Would love if you list the equipment you used, because the video quality is chef's kisses lol. See, this is the part where I'm just like, I'll have to get George to list this, and I'll probably share it on social media or on my community tab, because I prepared the slides. I came up with the idea with my partner manager at YouTube, but you see this gorgeous buttery video quality. This is George, this isn't me, but I'll answer as much as I can. All right, make sure to smash the like button, leave lots of comments, and for anyone who is wondering how the supers work, so you have super stickers, super thanks, and super chat. This is your way to support the live stream and support the channel. There is no pressure to donate if you do not want to, but basically when you get any of these, your comments would be highlighted, as you can see. AE29PA has done. It would be highlighted for everyone to see when you buy a super chat. When you buy a super sticker, you get a cute little sticker that is then attached to your name, and then when you get a super thanks, it's just a way of saying thank you for the work that is being done on the channel. This you can do throughout the live stream, and I just thought to share it, and you just know that it's there for you to do. I'll probably remind people who are joining in later on about this, but you would find it somewhere on the side where the live chat is. If you're wondering where you can get any of the super thanks, the super chat, or the super stickers, and any support would be greatly appreciated. Okay, no pressure though, no pressure. I don't want anybody to feel like they are feeling pressured or anyway, no pressure. But let's get into making this pattern. All right, I am just going to clear my table and bring my pattern paper here. Okay, are we ready to create the pattern? If you are, give me lots of thumbs ups in the chat so we know, and then we can talk through the measurements. And then if there's anyone who hasn't taken the measurements, you have like some minutes to quickly do that. Thankfully, there are not a lot of measurements, and the pattern is such that once you do the front, the back is just a very slight variation of the front. And once you have the front, you trace off there is this piece that goes for where the bust pads would be, and that one you trace off from the front pattern, and then the crouch piece you trace off from the bottom of the front and from the back. So once you have the front, the rest are quite easy and straightforward to do. Okay, all right, so let's get into these measurements. Now the first measurement you need is around the busts. You also need to measure around your waist. You need to measure around your hip, across your shoulder, which is back, this back side to the other back side, so you measure it on the back. You would also need to decide on how deep you want your neckline to be. Mine is quite sexy, yours doesn't have to be that way. I always tell people to create pieces that they are comfortable wearing, not just because it's trendy or it's cute. You are going to be the one wearing it, so work with measurements that you know you're comfortable with and suit your body and your physique. You also need to measure the vertical distance from your shoulder to your bust, and then from your bust to your waist, from your waist to your hip. And then the last measurement is your crouch depth. Now, crouch depth is basically, say this is a chair. When you sit down, the vertical distance from your waist to the very point that your butt hits the seat, that's the crouch depth. And this would help to create the bottom part of the swimsuit so it fits comfortably and it's not too tight. It doesn't cut you off and it doesn't feel uncomfortable. So that one would help us to create that particular part of the swimsuit. That is the crouch depth. So do we all have those measurements? I see lots of thumbs ups. We are ready to get into creating the patterns. I'm aware that it's actually winter for my loves in other parts of the world, but you can still make the swimsuit and wear it when it's your summer, and then it will be our winter, and then we can't wear our swimsuits. Isn't life just wonderful? But there is no like, oh, it's winter, I can't make this. You can always make the swimsuit, and it has stretch, so you know you can wear it when summer actually comes. Juanita says, I'm here to support all of the ladies making theirs. It's winter here. Thank you all the same for joining, for always supporting and leaving comments. I really appreciate it. I also like to mention that we have 3 moderators in the house. We have Stoikity, we have Yagoda, and we have which name would I call her now? Ngima Wandia. I think on YouTube her name is Ailing Wandia. So moderators have the little spanner next to their names, and they're going to be helping me to respond to questions, just keep the chat nice and polite, and if there is something that is supposed to be drawn to my attention, then I will know. So just huge thanks to all 3 of them helping me create this live stream, being there to support me. I do not take your time for granted at all. Let's see. Measurements ready. This is what we like to see. Thank you so much. Companion Adedeji says measurements are ready. Make sure to smash the like button, leave lots of comments. There is a comment here from Miss Seek Monica. Kim, thank you so much for your knowledge that you share. You're the best. I love watching your channel. Thank you. That is so sweet. Munaji, the crouch is always a challenge to me. I've never gotten it right, even after following the direction. It is one of those things that I say the more you create pieces like shorts, trousers, swimsuit, bottoms, basically, you would figure out what works and what doesn't, and basically make corrections as you go along. Let's see. So time check is 22 past. I say let's get into making the patterns, because that would take just a little bit of time. So I've cut out a huge piece of paper here. I'll say this is about 1 meter long, and I'm going to be creating my front swimsuit pattern first. Just put some weights put some weights on it. Now, if you have any questions, any comments, please share them in the chat as well. Or if I'm going too fast, let me know in the chat too. Then I'll be able to answer. Okay, can we all see my table? All right. Okay. Amazing, amazing, amazing. If you can all see my table, I'm going to get into creating the front of my swimsuit. I have my measurements beside me, so if I keep looking to the side, that's what I'm looking at. And I'm just going to start from one end and work downwards. There's no particular order, but I'm going to be starting from this edge because this edge is already straight. This is like the pre-cut straight edge that my paper came with, and I'm going to use that as my center front edge. If you do not have that edge, I recommend drawing a long vertical line that guides you, and that becomes your center front edge. So if you're working with newspaper or any kind of paper that doesn't have like a predefined edge like this, then you can draw in your center front edge before we start. All right, table visible, let's get into this. So I'm going to start from this edge and then work downwards. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a short horizontal line. This is going to become my shoulder point. I'm trying to make this parallel to this edge here. And from this line, I'm going to mark all of my vertical distances. If I remember where I put my measuring tape, it has vanished from my sight. Oh, measuring tape, where have you gone? I kind of, oh, so like, can you just pass it to me? Yeah, the measuring tape is in a disappearing act of me. Thank you. Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm going to mark vertical distance from my shoulder to my bust. Mine is 8 inches. I'm just going to mark that here. And then I'm going to mark vertical distance from my bust. Why do I keep saying butt? God have mercy. From my bust to my waist. And then I'm going to mark from my waist to my hip. Mine is 10 inches. I'm glad I'm not the only one that always loses my measuring tape. Renee agrees with me. It's like the thing will just disappear and it's like, where are you going? I need you now. All right, then I'm going to square across this point. To square across means basically to draw a line that is perpendicular to the center front edge. So the line will go like this, like that, like that, like that. When I say square across, that's what I actually mean. Because I realize I've just been using the term and I've not really explained what square across means. So I'm going to square this across. This is going to become my bust line. Just add small to the edge. Square across my waistline too. How many people are actually creating this with me? I'm curious. Let me put up a poll. I'm actually curious. Thank you. I'm actually curious to find out how many people are actually creating with me right now, because I know some people are just joining for the vibes and to see how it would turn out. Well, how many people are actually creating with us today? All right, so we have shoulder, bust, waist, and hip. Now that we have these horizontal lines, what was I going to say vertical? Now that we have these horizontal lines, we're going to mark the horizontal measurements. So like that across shoulder, we're going to mark across the bust, the waist, all of those measurements. And this is the point where my calculator will come in very handy because I was not very good at math in school. All right, so along the shoulder line here, we're going to mark half of the across shoulder. This we would shape because you kind of want the swimsuit to start in a little bit in, but we're going to mark half of that along this shoulder line here. Mine is 14, so I'm going to mark half of that, which is 7. So I'm going to mark this here. Then along the busts, oh, sorry for ruining the sound. HN Clothing said, I'm just watching and enjoying the whole creation process, but I'm sure I will create mine later. It's okay, it's fine. You can always join in. Nothing is wrong with you like commenting and just enjoying for the vibes. If you have any questions, even if you're not creating, you can just be taking down notes and points and ask in the comment section as well. I see Renessa Ortiz. Renessa, I don't know why I like that name. It sounds so bougie. You're creating with me as well. Thank you. I hope yours turns out amazing. Next measurement we're going to be marking on the pattern is 1/4 of the bust measurement minus 1 inch. Now we're taking out 1 inch because the fabric has stretch, and this is basically like a principle you would use when you're working with stretch fabrics. Because the fabric stretches, you would add what you call negative ease. So I'm adding 1 inch because my fabric is quite stretchy. You can add half an inch if your fabric is not as stretchy, or you could work with your exact measurement and stitch away the negative ease. That's something else that you could do. The beautiful thing with creating is if you try it on, if you fit it is too loose, you can always go in and take away any excess. So I'm going to mark 1/4 of my bust measurement minus 1 inch. Bust is 36 divided by 4. That gives me 9 minus 1. That gives me 8. So I'm going to mark 8 inches here. And then I'm basically going to repeat the same thing for my waistline as well. The hip we're going to skip because the hip is going to be shaped in a slightly different way. So the waistline here is 29 divided by 4 minus 1 at 6.25. That is my own waist. Oh, sorry. Amazing. Delphina Paul Gabriel says, I'm trying to create with you. LOL. That's okay. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. You can also create the pattern, and if you don't have your fabric, you can get your fabric and cut and sew a piece later, but you can just watch to see how everything comes together. Now, before I join drawing my side seam, I am going to mark 2.5 inches below my waistline, and this is going to help me to draw in the leg shape that most one-piece swimsuit have. So I'm just going to my waistline and I'm marking 2.5 inches below, and I'm going to yet again square across because that's what we do over here. Down a little bit. Okay. All right. Next up, I'm going to plan in the neckline, and the neckline is quite deep. That is personal preference. Now, now if you want yours to be a little bit higher, this is the point where you can make that change. My neckline is about 2.5 inches above my bust, so it's going to be like here. You can have yours higher if you want. You can have yours even below your bust line if you really want like a sexy version. You can do that if you want to. And mine is 2.5 above my bust. That's going to help me draw in my neckline shape. Just pop you here because I'm going to need that soon. And then the neckline width from the center front to this edge, I am going to be marking 3.5 inches horizontally like this. but I don't want my shoulder strap to be that wide. I kind of want my shoulder strap to be like 2-3 inches. If you want yours wider, you can leave yours like that, but I want mine to be in just a little bit in. Now this is the part where I said that we're going to actually shape in the across shoulder a little bit. This is my across shoulder measurement, but I don't want my swimsuit to go all the way there. I kind of want it to come inside a little bit. So I want my swimsuit shoulder strap to be 2 inches wide. So I'm going to mark that inside of my across shoulder measurement. And then I'm going to drop it by 1/2 inch. So I have a slanted shape for my shoulder seam. So I'm going to draw this in next. Please let me know if I'm going too quickly. I'm just mindful of the time as well. So this is my shoulder width here. So Renessa Ortiz asked, can you repeat what the measurement was for the waist? What, the actual waistline or the dropped one? So the dropped one here is 2.5 inches below the actual waistline, because from this point is where we would now shape in the leg for the swimsuit. So that's the one you mean is 2.5 inches below your waistline. That is this one here. Actually, let me write down what is what. This is, and then we can see this is our hip, and then this is shoulder. Renee says she will make her neckline. Says she will make her neckline low. My dear, by all means, live your best life, please. All right, so once I have that neckline marked, I'm going to draw in my scoop neckline. You can make yours deeper or shallower. Please work with what you are comfortable with. With the help of my pattern master, I'm going to place it in such a way that it's a little bit straight on this edge. So it curves in such a way that there is no point in the middle. It's straight here, and then it goes back into the shoulder edge. So that I'm going to draw like this, and then connect it to the shoulder point like that. So I have my front neckline drawn in place. Do I want to add a notch? Nah, I'm good, no notches. So once you have that drawn in here, I'm going to draw in the arm curve, and this is going to go straight down to my bust because I want my swimsuit to actually be quite low. If you don't want yours to be as low, you can lift it higher. The thing is, you kind of want it a little bit open because it's strapless, and you want to be able to like lift your hand without anything ripping or breaking. So I'm going to take my pattern master, and I think that's why I really like this pattern master, because it has all these edges that imitate the natural curve of your body, such as like neckline, arm curve, crouch seam, all that good stuff. So I'm going to come in here and try to draw in this armhole. Kind of want it a little bit more in, yeah, more like this. More like that. Okay. Okay. Now from this shape, you can see it looks a lot like a basic bodice pattern. So if you have a basic bodice pattern to your measurement, or if you're creating this for a client, you can actually adapt your basic bodice to a swimsuit pattern if you don't want to make everything from scratch like we're doing today. If you haven't seen the basic bodice tutorial on the channel, you can go check that out. You could also grab one of the PDF basic bodice patterns I have on the Kim Dave store. It has patterns, it has sizes from a UK 6 to a UK 16, so that way you can just trace off your size and then adapt it, change it to whatever style you're making, in this case a swimsuit. The link is going to be somewhere in the chats for anyone who wants to check it out, and that way you can save yourself a little bit of time if you don't want to make everything from scratch like we're doing here. All right, so Renee is asking, how would you do a V neckline? Would I just make a straight line or slightly curved? it depends on how you want your V neckline to be. If you want it to be curved down a little bit and not like a sharp point, you would gradually curve it as you come to the point on the neckline. If you don't want to do like a scoop like we're doing here, but if you want like a V with a point, then you just draw a straight line that goes like that to there. You can even make the neckline deeper if you want a little bit of boob action showing on your swimsuit. Then you can just do it as a straight point from here to there, or you can curve it in a little bit if you want that curved and then a point type of neckline. So would I say the freedom is really like you can have as much fun as you want with your pattern. There is no right or wrong way. That's one amazing thing with fashion. Just create it in a way that you're comfortable with and you are happy with as well. I'm going to go in next to draw the side seam, and I'm going to be connecting the bust line to the waistline next. I'm going to curve you like that. Curve you in here. Now to guide me to shape this part correctly, I am going to mark 1/4 of my hip measurement here. I won't draw it down, but I would draw it in such a way that it's going there, but it would only stop here, because that is how high the side seam is going to go before I slope it in to create the leg opening that the front swimsuit has. Now along the hip line, I'm just going to go in to mark 1/4 of my hip measurements. So my hip is 39. So I'm just giving out my body measurements like on the internet like that. Oh God, the things we do. So 39 divided by 4, it has 9.75 minus 1. That's 8.75. So this I'm going to mark here. Just mark it here. So that guides me to draw in the next shape I'm going to draw. Should I do you like this or like that? Let's do you like this. Okay. Now I'm going to continue the side seam from the waistline up until this point, but how far I spread this is being guided by this point that I just drew here. And I'm just going to curve this out a little bit like that. Hope my hair is not blocking what I'm doing. It is. Oh. Then I'm going to come back in and shape here like so. If you do not have a pattern master, you can use a French curve. French curves have similar shapes as well that you could possibly use. So if you don't have a pattern master right at this point, you can also use that. There is okay, the companion at Dedeji asks, what if I don't want to make a very low armhole? You can mark, I would say, 1 inch above your bust line and then draw your arm curve to meet that 1 inch point. So say it's like there, you then draw your arm curve to come like that. If you don't want it to be as low as I have done mine here, that's what you could do. So that way it doesn't open as much on the side of your body. I hope that answered your question. Jay's Kitchen 001 asks, on waistline we don't reduce one. We did as well. So here I marked 1/4 of my waist measurement minus 1 inch. You actually do that. You do it on all your dimensions because the fabric is stretched. And if you don't do it, you find that one part to be loose compared to the other measurements that you've marked on your body. Okay, so now that we have our side seam marked, we're going to go in to draw in the shape that this leg opening of swimsuits typically have. Cool. Someone has asked, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Chrysla K. Will this live be uploaded later? Yes, it's been recorded and will be uploaded later on the channel for anyone who is not able to make it in real time or you joined later. Don't worry, I got you. It's going to be available for later, okay? So no need to worry, no need to worry. All right, cool. Now let's move on to this crouch area here. So you want to come to your hip line and mark 2 inches below this point. What you can also do is mark your crouch depth. Mine is 12 inches. So, yep, that's about right. So you can either mark 2 inches below your hip line, but if you also want your pattern to be more accurate and fits you perfectly, I would highly recommend marking your crouch depth from your waistline all the way below your hip line, because that extra measurement below your hip line is what will help the swimsuit to actually wrap around and cover your girls in the lower region, if you get what I mean. So once I have that marked here, I am going to square that point across like so. Just a little bit, not too much. And along that point, I'm going to decide on how wide I want the bottom part of my swimsuit to be. Now, when I made a sample, I made mine 3 inches and I found it a little bit too wide. You don't want it to be too wide in such a way that it starts to form like a weird gathering. So I would say anything from 1 inch to 2 inches is like a good average, except if you want to make like a G-string or a thong type swimsuit, then you can make yours like really slim. But I'm going to create one that is 1 inch wide here. So by the time it's folded out and doubled, it's a total of 2 inches along this bottom part of my swimsuit. All right. Oh wow, 12, is that noon or midnight? Someone says it's almost 12 where they live. I hope that's not midnight. I hope you're not up at midnight watching this live stream. Please tell me it's 12 noon so that I'm not keeping somebody's child up at midnight. All right, cool. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in the shape for the leg here. This you can draw in freehand if you're very comfortable with your curving situation, but I'm going to be using my pattern master because it just makes my life so much easier. I am going to draw a shape that tapers in from there and connects back into here. This shape looks very similar to my bodysuit. The only difference between this and my bodysuit is I would say the armhole is a little bit lower, the neckline is a little bit lower, and this is slightly different. I think that's the main difference between this and my bodysuit pattern already on my channel. So I'm just going to come in here and draw in the shape. For the front, you want to shape it like this, so it goes naturally in that like a panty or like underwear or undergarment shape. That's what we want to achieve here. So this I am going to draw in like that, and then when I get to around the hip part, I want to have it slightly more straight, so that way I'm able to create a, just come here and do this like this, just slightly more straight-ish here. And just curve it out like that. So let's bring it out a little bit, that's fine. Okay, how are we doing for time? 4:47, cool. All right, so we have our front swimsuit done. This is the front. You need to cut one, unfold, and this is a size 10, and I made this in 2022. I'm also going to add my grain line, so that guides me when I'm cutting my... The grain line is something that you lay parallel to the selvage of the fabric, so it helps you cut your pieces straight. That's what grain lines typically do on patterns, whether you're making it yourself or whether I see it on commercial patterns. And this is the front. Let me just check that I'm happy with all of my measurements. This is the point that I always tell people to double check their measurements. So everything is still good. Yeah, 625. Oh. Cool, cool, cool. Everything is looking fine so far. This is my center fronts. All right, so I'm going to go in to add my seam allowance around this and then create my back pattern quickly. Someone is asking if they can add sleeve to yours. Of course you can, because there's already like a sleeve opening there, so you can add whatever sleeve styles that you are happy with. The reason why I just wanted to create a strapless one was this is a nice foundation that you can make changes to. If you wanted to make the type that has really skinny straps, you just go in and get rid of this part of the shoulder and then you add your skinny strap there. But once you have this, you kind of have like a good basic pattern to work from. Now I'm going to go in to add a 1 centimeter seam allowance around my pattern, so it's ready to be cut and stitched. If you don't want to add seam allowance to your pattern, just make a mental note, so when you're cutting onto your fabric, you can add it straight onto your fabric if you wanted to do that. How are we faring? Is everyone on the same? Are we all on the same page? Are we done with our front? Sort of like done-ish with our front. This just feels surreal. The fact that I'm actually creating a swimsuit with people from all over the world is just technology will never cease to amaze me. Honestly, it will never cease to amaze me. Yes. So Temitayo asked, can the 2.5 inches below the waistline, which is this one, can it be dropped more for more coverage? Yes. If you don't want such a high leg swimsuit, you can drop yours lower, but just know that the lower you drop it, the tighter it's going to be around your legs, because you reduce by how much this leg opening is going to be. So I say you can do 3 inches if 3.5 is too open for you, so that way you get more coverage, but at least your legs are comfortable inside the swimsuit and it's not too tight. That's what I would recommend, because mine is quite high on the leg. It's just how I like my swimsuits. Showing them legs. Showing them legs. Yeah. So if you use your exact measurement, so Chinelo Wonkwo, I think I said your name right, because I served in the East. I hope I said your name right. She said, I use my exact quarter measurements. There is no need for seam allowance, right? Yes, that is correct, because you would stitch away measurements from the existing pattern. However, if you finish your piece and you find that it's a little bit loose, you can always go into sew away any excess that you have around your swimsuit, basically. All right, just adding my seam allowance. If you have made your front in such a way that you are done, what you can do is you can actually trace it off to create your back pattern. So you can start tracing it off onto like a separate pattern piece, because the back is very, very similar to the front, just a few tweaks here and there. All right. All right, how is everybody doing? Have we understood the pattern so far? Have you been able to create your own? Like, have you been able to follow me and actually create your own? I'm always curious to find out. because that would just mean that I'm explaining it in a way that you guys actually understand and you're able to follow through. Just wanted to say on there. Oh, I cannot see for the life of me. If this is wonky, I apologize because I can't see what I'm doing there. Let me do this in such a way. Let me do it like this. Okay, this works. Cool. Ah. All right, so I have my front pattern all done. If you're just joining in, I just wanted to remind you guys that you can use the super chats, the super stickers, and the super thanks. You will find it next to the chat, and this way you can make donations in whatever amount that you're comfortable with to support the channel, to help me get more materials, to pay for, you know, all kinds of things that help me create content around sewing for the channel. When you get any of these, your comments get highlighted in such a way that is visible to me, and I can read your comment and I can see your name, and I think it's such a cool thing to do, to just, like, you know, support the growing K-Divas fam. Guys, we're on 400k subscribers. That thing has not really synced into me. Like, you know, you're just like, yo, 400,000 human beings. It's just wild. It's honestly wild, but I'm so grateful for. So grateful. It feels very surreal, but I'm very grateful. Like, such a huge achievement, such a huge achievement. So companion Adedeji is adding seam allowance. Go for it. I think what I might do is I'll start tracing off my front while you add your seam allowance, and that way we sort of have like the next step on the way. You can also cut out your pattern. I'm just going to leave mine here like this, so I'm able to trace off the back in such a way that the pattern is not flying around. Just move you to the side. Oh, I'm going to be bursting into random singing because it's what I do when I'm working. Anyone who has worked with me knows I just burst into random tunes. Thank you, AE29PA. Appreciate the support. You're always coming through. Every time I do a premiere or every time I do anything that is live related, I appreciate the steady support. I absolutely do. Thank you, thank you. I saw someone say earlier on, I think it was earlier on in the chat, and the person was like, oh, the Roots collection looks good on you. Thank you. I'm actually wearing one of the tops from my new collection. This is the Oru top, so it just stops around like my belly button, but I tucked it into this like cute white tennis skirt. I wore this look on honeymoon and I just looked so fabulous, and I was like, I'll wear it again today. So that's what I'm wearing as the OOTD. I just thought to casually drop that in there. If you haven't checked out the collection, it's available online, shop.kimdave.com. The pieces are available in sizes extra small to extra large. If you wanted to check that out, you can do so as well. All right, I think I have my, just pull you forward so you are visible. Okay. Going to tape this down because it's going to move around. Whoop, 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 whoop. I see Bianca Vedga. I think that's how you pronounce it. Correct me if I said it wrong. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. It all adds up. It might not look like a lot to some people, but it definitely all adds up, and I am grateful. And she has asked, can I use a pattern to do a skirt to the bottom? Yes, but this pattern doesn't have, this pattern is for stretch fabric, so If the fabric is stretchy, yes, but if it's a woven fabric, I recommend you add ease before you add your seam allowance. Now, ease can be from 1/2 inch to 1 inch, depending on how you like your clothes to sit on you. For me, I don't like to add a lot of ease because I like my clothes quite fitted. I add from 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch as like typical ease on my clothing. So yes, you can absolutely use it. So from the waistline, you can just create like a skirt, just shape it out like this. Mini skirt, midi skirt, maxi skirt. You already have a skirt pattern in there. You can use this top half to create like a crop top, a sports bra, because this is already shaped for stretch fabric. But yeah, that's actually a very good question. Thank you so much, Bianca, for that question, and thank you so much for grabbing that super chat. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. So Miss Monica asks, Kim, around the hip to the crouch, do you use elastic to make it stretch when in the suit? I'm guessing that's what you asked. Yes, when we're sewing, we would actually use the swim elastic, the one I showed you guys earlier on. You would actually stitch this in. I use it as a bias binding to finish off the leg, the armhole, and the neckline. That's how you finish up this style I'm making today, because it's not a reversible style, it's just one layer. So yes, we'll be using elastic for that. But I'm just going to go into trace off my back. Honestly, I just want to be able to make this pattern, at least cut the pieces and start sewing with you guys. So even if you can't finish it, or if you can't stay till the end, you have the pattern ready to use. And I know for a fact that once you have the pattern of something already done, more than 50% of the work is done, because pattern making is what consumes time, in my opinion. All right, now we're going to make some changes for the back of the swimsuit. The back doesn't curve in like this, except if you want like the thong style, which would curve in even more. But I want my butt cheeks to be nicely covered in this swimsuit, so I'm going to curve it a little bit outwards like this to the side seam. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take my pattern master. I think it's this way. Yes, like this. And I'm going to curve it outwards like this. So this gives me coverage around my lovely girls on the behind. This I'm going to curve outwards from, and just lift you up a little bit. So there's my part slightly straight. I'm going to curve this out to the side seam like so. I'm going to come in here and just shape it in so it curves in nicely. Okay, that's the first change we're going to make for the back. The side seam is the same on the front, the same on the back. So I'm just going to trace that off quickly. I'm curious to see what people's fabrics are, honestly. Like, are we using plain fabrics? Are we using print? You know, I'm the queen of print. Like, my life, the day God made me, I was in a good mood, because I just love to work with colors and bold prints. It's just, I don't know, I just feel good. It might be loud for some people, but I actually feel very comfortable working with prints. Once you've traced off the side seam, don't forget to transfer the waistline notch, so that way it helps you connect the pieces together. Then I'm going to come to the arm curve, and the back arm curve is slightly shallower compared to the front, just shallower by about 1/2 inch. So you want to bring it out just a little bit here, but it's the same on top and it's the same at the bottom. So if you can turn your French curve, your pattern master, whatever curve ruler you're using, if you're turned in such a way that you start off here, this bottom edge the same, you have the top the same, but this middle region is shallower, because the back of our bodies are not as curved. Like this side, it's not as curved as the front, because the front is where the busts are. So I'm just going to curve this in like that. That's the second difference that the back swimsuit has. The shoulder slant or the shoulder sloper is the same. Ooh! I see Miss Chic Monica has used the super stickers. I've always been very curious what kind of stickers you get. That one says TRD. It spells tired, but you just see the TRD. Thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying the live stream so far. I hope you're actually following and creating your own swimsuit, even if it's not today, at whatever point that you're comfortable with. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm sure all the K-Divas watching appreciates this as well. All right, okay, let's finish off the back. Now the back neckline is up to you how you want it to be. You can keep the neckline the same as the front, but I want my back to be lower than the front. I actually want it to go down as low as to my bust line, so I'm going to draw it all the way down there. You can make yours even sexier, because why not? So I'm just going to draw it in like this, so it goes from my bust line. Remember to make it straight-ish along that center back edge, so you have like a nice straight curve, and then curve that back into your shoulder points. You want your back and your front to meet at the same point, so when you're stitching everything together, it all makes sense. See, we have our back done. Wasn't that nice and quick? Very, very smooth, very easy. So I'm just going to write down annotations for my back. So this is my center back. This is my back. I will need to cut one as well. This is a size 10. This is 2022. And I will need to add my grain line. Let's add this here. Now you don't need to add seam allowance around this back pattern, because I added seam allowance to the front before we traced it off, so that way the back already has seam allowance included. You can add any other annotations, but I highly recommend you transfer your waistline at least, because that would help you join pieces together. What else do I want to add here? I have that there. I have that there. Let me add this one. Let me add this notch. Might not really need it, but it's there. And this is my grain line. Cool. Okay, so now we have the two main patterns out of the way. We're just going to quickly create the piece for the crouch, the piece for the cups, and then we cut out our pieces to stitch together. Now, while this is actually here, I think this is the perfect time to make this piece, because both sides of the crouch for the front and for the back is actually here, and I want to trace off a pattern that is actually going to have the shape of the front and have the shape of the back, but I will trace it off in such a way that is one piece, and that is going to be like the lining for the crouch. You don't have to do this, but I find that most swimsuits, most underwear always have this like sort of like safety area that you could use a softer knit for, or you could use the same swim fabric for, but just like a nice safety layer that you want to have along that part of your swimsuit. So I'm really going to cut out some paper here, and I want to have my paper on a fold like this, because I want to have this edge. Let's have this edge on the fold. So this edge is on a fold because I want to have it as one piece. So I'm going to fold it like that, and then align it to the stitch line. This is the seam allowance line. This is a line that you want to align your fold to. So this I am going to trace off up until the hip line here. So I'm going to trace off for the front, this edge like that. Then I'm going to open it and trace off the back like this. So that way you have one entire piece that goes both ways. So now that I've traced that off, I'm just going to draw in this hip line here, because that is going to guide me. Draw you in there. Then I'm going to draw in the center front / center back edges, and this I'm going to cut on a fold as well. You can actually make your piece in such a way that is one whole piece, but mine I have done this way. So this edge is going to be fold. Let me just say that before I forget. So this I'm just going to cut out like that, open up, and then cut it like this and like that. You could also match it to this side and draw in the hip line for the back, so that way you have, you know, accurate measurement actually happening live and direct. Hey, this pen, please don't embarrass me on the internet today. Do you hear me? All right, so let's just extend that upwards, draw that in. Then we have this one edge. Cool. So this is going to become our crouch piece. I'm going to connect these points together, or you can leave them the way they are if you do not want that. I see a question from Miss Chic Monica. Am I saying your name right? Please tell me I'm saying your name right. And the question says, what fabrics do you recommend for swimsuit? I recommend fabric that has stretch, some kind of scuba, lightweight scuba, because the fabric is going to get wet. So you don't want it to be too thick and too heavy, because if it gets wet, it's going to get heavier on your body. Something also that is not too transparent. If you're going to be doing just one layer of swimsuit, you have some kind of coverage, or you can make your swimsuit reversible. So I'll say like a lightweight scuba, a lightweight jersey, but normally if you just Google swimsuit fabrics online, you would see so many great options. Like when I was trying to find mine, hey, I was so confused because I didn't know if I wanted print or plain, because there's so many beautiful options. Like there's some that have this like cool ridges. Don't worry, once you go to a fabric shop or you Google it online, you see all the fun swimsuit fabrics that you could possibly use. I'm also curious to see the kind of swimsuits you guys are going to create, like the neckline depth, the coverage on the legs. Like I said, you don't have to wear yours to enter the competition. If you don't know, there's a competition ongoing for £100. To enter, just stay active and interactive in the chat as we're creating this swimsuit today. You also will need to share your finished swimsuit online. You don't have to wear it. You can just do a flat lay or have it on your mannequin, and then tag me in that photo, tag at Kim Dave Designs, and you have to use the hashtag Sewing with Kim for your entry to qualify. The winner will be announced on the 19th of June on my community tab on YouTube, so that way everybody kind of sees who the winner is. All right. Time check. It's 5:10. We're going to be here for 3 hours. Let me just say this now. Anyone who gets to the pattern point and feels like they can continue on their own, you can continue in your own time, but I will continue and finish my swimsuit, so you're welcome to stay with me and we could just vibe. I mean, why not? Why not? If you're also just joining and you don't know anything about how the supers work, basically you have super chats, which highlights your comment or your question, and I get to see it on top on the chat. You could also get super stickers, which gives you these cute stickers attached to your name. You could also get super thanks, which is kind of a way of thanking, showing your appreciation and your support for the channel. And any of these, you can choose whatever amount you're comfortable with donating. I decided to make this live stream free, so it's just open and accessible to everyone, but you can support in whatever way that you feel comfortable with. There is no pressure at all. No pressure at all. All right, now we have our crouch piece here. This is, let me just double check that that is right. That is correct. So this is for the front. That is for the back. Amazing. So this I'm going to set aside, and I am going to create the last pattern piece for the bust cups for my front. I'm just going to cut out some more paper from this edge so I can actually do that quickly. All right, now there is a piece that I want to create. This paper is trying to play Ludo with me. I want to create a piece that would house or accommodate the bust pads, and this is only going to be on the front, so I'm going to create this pattern for only the front. Before I create that, I just want to highlight it quickly so we see what side we're tracing off. So I kind of want that piece to go Let me remove my back so it's clear. I'm just going to remove my back pattern. Get it out of the way. God bless these pattern weights. All right, so I want my bust pad to go around my bust area, but I don't want it to go all the way to the shoulder point. So I am going to have it sit, I would say 1 inch above my bust. Goes to the same side seam, and I want to have it same level as that, so 3 inches. So let's just highlight that quickly. Let's highlight this quickly here so I know what areas I'm tracing off. For anyone who is just joining in, let me know where you are watching from. People from Trinidad, from Jamaica in the house, people from Nigeria, the UK, London, repping home and abroad. I love it. I love to see that. It's like the internet just connects us like globally. It's actually so cool. All right. Let's see. There is a question here from Cynthia Brewer, and the question asks, where can we find the curved ruler you're using? This is a Pattern Master. You can get this on Amazon, you can get this on eBay. They have different brands, but this one is by the brand More Plan. It's a very well-known, I think it's a European brand, I might be wrong, but they make really nice sturdy rulers, which is why I like their product. My Pattern Master, my set square, is by More Plan, and that's what it's called. It's called a Pattern Master. I cannot create patterns without that thing. I'm so used to it now. It's actually insane. I'm so used to using Pattern Masters now. All right, let's check in with everyone. I'm sure I'll make another poll, find out whether people are done with their patterns and at my pace. All right, so from the current poll that I put up 45 minutes ago, if people are creating the swimsuits with me right now, yes, I see 20% of people watching are creating, but 67% say they will create later, and 12% say no, which is actually totally cool and fine. I'm going to put up another poll asking, or just to gauge where you guys are at right now, just to see if you are up until this level. So you have your front, your back, your crouch piece, and you are at this point of creating this like bust pad or bust bag. That is what we're doing right now. Just tracing off mine for the front, like so. Have you created all of your patterns? Okay. Have you created all of your swimsuits patterns? see Blessing Pinder, watching from the UK. Hey. Companion Adedeji, please can you repeat the measurement you took out for the bust pad? So the measurement here is from this side to this side. What I did was I ensured the front matches there because I want to finish the bust pad into the neckline on the center front edge, so it matches here, and I just sort of like marked this across like this. So this, whatever height that is from here to here, that is the height from here to here. That's how I got this top edge. The side here and here is the same, but this one from the waistline upwards is about, I think, an inch. Yeah, so it's 1 inch above the waistline here. That is how wide, because I didn't want it to go down all the way to my waistline, but I wanted it wide enough to actually accommodate my bust pads. So that's the changes I made, or those are like the exact dimensions for this particular piece that I am tracing off here. Let's just trace you off. This one is more or less straight. Okay, it's my center front edge. This is my bust line. Add my grain line now. This is going to be cut in a fold. And for this particular piece, you need to cut a pair or 2 pieces because you want to create kind of a bag where you then put the bust pads and then you stitch it into the side seam, into the arm curve, and into the neckline, and it stays on the inside of your swimsuit. Now this we're doing because the swimsuit is just 1 layer. If this was a reversible swimsuit, you would have been able to just add your bust pads and then tack them to the lining and it stays put. So this is the, let's just call it the bust pad. I don't know what the real name is, but let's just call it the bust pad. I need to cut 1 pair, unfold. This is a size 10 and we're in 2022. Okay. All right. Awesome. Oh, that's okay. So Oluwa Fumbi Deborah, I have to go now. Low battery. I followed up until now. From Nigeria, front and back piece drafted. I can't wait to finish the project. Thank you so much for staying so far. I appreciate you and appreciate your time. I look forward to seeing what you create with your patterns. I'm actually very curious to see. Very curious. All right. Guinea ASMR, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Can I use a French curve ruler for pattern making? Also, can I make this into a 2-piece swimsuit? Yes, and yes, you can absolutely use a French curve, which I think I mentioned it earlier on, because French curves have curves that are very similar to the pattern master, and you can like turn it in such a way that it allows you to draw in the shapes that you want. You can also make this pattern into a 2-piece. You simply just divide the pattern into 2. So you can stop your top half here and have like a high-waisted bikini bottom from the waistline, or have it even higher. It's such a cool basic place to start from, and you can have fun with this pattern that we just created in this live stream. So I'm going in now to cut out my bust pad. This is the last pattern that we need to create. Just going to cut this out, and then I'm going to cut out my other patterns as well, so we have them ready to cut onto fabric. Oh. All right, second pattern done. Let's cut out the third one, which is my back. Let's cut you out nice and neatly. I don't know why. Okay, so I just had a comment from Juntia Rampo, and I hope I said your name correctly. And the comment says, let's celebrate that Kimi is still below 30 inches waist, guys. Lockdown was rough. Wow. Oh, I'll take that as a compliment. Lockdown was really rough. Ah, man. I think I got to a point where, because I actually put on weight, and I got to a point where I just accepted it. I was like, it is what it is. Like, I cannot come and kill myself. Nobody will flog me. And I also just got comfortable with the weight gain. And the way I gain weight is I gain it everywhere, on my cheek, my belly, my legs. So it's evenly distributed. So when I put on weight, I just look like a rounder version of my, I don't know, 2017 self. But yes, I'm still under 30 inches. I don't know for how long. We will see. Because I make patterns, I always reveal my body measurements. So you guys will definitely you'll be able to keep up with how thin or how big I'm growing with time. But I'm honestly come to a point where I'm just like, the body is like, it's such, I won't say temporary, it's such a transient thing that I try not to fixate on the number on the scale, because weight is something you can work on if you don't have any other complications. And I just believe that there are more important things to focus my energy on, like my spirit, my soul, my relationships. I don't know, I invest my energy more on things like that. Don't get me wrong, I like to look good in a bodycon dress. Like, I like all those things, but my dear, I beg, if the waist wants to grow sideways and I feel comfortable with it growing sideways, by all means, let it grow and thrive. Nothing spoil. I've really reached that place mentally with my weight. I won't even lie. I have reached there. Oh man. Oh, it's a compliment. Thank you. Thank you. George is saying she looks very fine.
Yes, you do.
I'm giving you the side eye from here. He's sitting next to me. He's our operations manager for the day, ensuring that everything goes well. Let's see, use up all this paper in the future, because there's some large pieces here. Oh, thank you. You can go hang out with your brothers. All right, how is everyone doing? Are we getting along with the pattern making so far? Isn't it funny how, like, I will film tutorial and it will end up being like a 20 minutes video, but in reality probably took me like 2 to 3 days. So now you guys know what real-time pattern making is like. This is 25 minutes past 5. We've spent an hour 20 minutes making a swimsuit pattern. So imagine if I'm making pattern for like proper evening gown or for like occasion wear, it will take even longer. So pattern making is where the work really lies in the fashion design, honestly. That's where the real cocoa of the work is. In my opinion, All right, let's cut out the last piece of pattern, and then we can cut our fabric and actually start sewing. I'm just relieved that the sewing is actually pretty straightforward, so it won't take as long as this, but definitely after 6 o'clock. Yeah, we'll be here after 6. Just to warn you, if you plan to stay to the end. We'll be here after 6 because I don't think we'll be done by 6. Okay, so we have our patterns all done. We have the front. This is what the front looks like. We have the front bust pad piece, which is where the bust pads are going to sit on the side, on the inside of the swimsuit. We have the back piece here. We also have the crouch piece, which is going to be cut in a fold, so it becomes like one whole piece that goes into the crouch of the swimsuit. That's a total of 4 pattern pieces that we have finished. Thank you. Cynthia Bureau, I just ordered the pattern master. Rila, thank you so much. As in, honestly, that thing is, since I started using it during fashion school, I have not looked back. I just find it makes the process of creating patterns a whole lot easier, honestly. It's like you don't have to think too much about curving the line. The line is already there. You just like bend it in a way that you want it to look on the body. That is how I work with mine. Now the current poll I have put up, which asks how far are you with your swimsuit pattern, and 64% of people watching have done they're finished your swimsuit patterns, which is great. So I know we're actually making progress. This video will be saved for rewatch if you joined halfway, or if you are not creating your patterns right now, you can actually just watch it back and create it along the way. I plan to also edit it down to like half an hour to 45 minutes, so it removes like the parts that are not relevant to the actual making of the swimsuit itself. We are at 58% of people have done their swimsuit pattern, which is fabulous. So just so you know, you can also support with the super thanks, the super chat, and the super stickers if you want to show your support of this live stream. It's every little helps. It goes a long way. It helps me get lots of things that I can use to continue to make content for you guys. No pressure, but no pressure, but you can donate whatever amount that you are comfortable with during the entirety of this live stream and even afterwards. All right, if we are done-ish with our pattern, I'm just going to leave like, I don't know, like a minute or two for people who are like finishing up their sewing patterns, but I can show you guys my fabric because I just want to show you guys my fabric. This is my fabric. It's a nice lightweight scuba. It's super stretchy, and I've been really into marble type prints. Like I did an Ankara project a couple of weeks and like a month back. I made this oversized kimono with like a alternate top, and it had this marble print. And I saw this and I was like, okay, this is the winning print. It just looks so nice. It has gray, brown, black, and white, and it's just such a lovely mix of neutral tones. I have a meter here, and that's what I'm going to be using to cut my fabric, my pattern, I mean. It's like, prints, why not? By all means, why not? I was actually going to use like a plain lemon green swimsuit fabric, but I saw this one and I was converted. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I don't know why I like prints so much. I don't know why. Okay, I see Jay's Kitchen 001 is tracing the bust pattern. That's good because that's the last pattern we made. So you're getting there. Someone, Juntia, please tell me how to pronounce your name. I feel like I keep saying it wrong. But Juntia Rampo is asking, can I order from your Amazon even though I'm in South Africa? I think so. I know some Amazon vendors deliver globally. You sort of have to check. You can check amazon.co.uk and amazon.com. So the UK Amazon and the US Amazon, to see if there is a vendor that delivers to your country. I know on the .com website, which is the US one, you might be lucky to actually find someone who does. Even if you don't find it on Amazon, check the Moreplan website as well. Check eBay. Hopefully you find someone who actually delivers to you, because that would just mean that you can have it delivered straight to your home. I'm curious though, so nobody sells something like that in South Africa? Maybe there is, but maybe like in the big cities, like in a sewing supply store. I'm just thinking out loud here. All right, so while you guys are finishing up your pattern, I am folding my fabric in such a way that I can pin down all of my pieces and cut everything in one go. That way it just saves me, a little bit of time. You can also cut your piece one at a time, but I folded it inwards like this, so I have two folded edges, because the back you need to cut in a fold, the front you need to cut in a fold as well, and you want to have some fabric to cut the bust pads and the crouch piece. So I'm just trying to be mindful of how much fabric I have, because I know I only have a meter. And if it finishes, I'll have to go and find something in my wardrobe that I can use. So I'm just folding this like that. I think I might have to do this one at a time. Pull you down. Okay. Oh, they have. That's strange. You don't have pattern masters though, because if they have the French curve, which is a tool that does a very similar function to the pattern master. Yeah, you can try on Amazon to see if you can get it. I hope you can, because it's been such a helpful and useful tool to me. All right, let's see. So we have 14 votes in on the poll, and 67% of that, they have finished their swimsuit patterns, which is amazing. I see Chinelo Wankwo done with pattern. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Kimberly Chizamboa. I think that's how you say your name. I'm so sorry if I said it wrong. Following from Cyprus. Hi, wow. That is actually so cool that someone from that part of the world is like watching this in real time. That is actually so cool. It's amazing. Let me just lay this down to ensure I have this piece in place. Okay. I like how you guys are actually having conversations in the chat. I love that, honestly. Like, please interact with each other. If there's someone who is from your country, your postcode, your zone, interact with them. You never know, you might form a new friendship. You might just be surprised. You might just be surprised. All right, how are we doing so far? Let me just wait for a minute. Have you guys finished all your patterns? Are we spreading out our fabrics ready to cut? Give me lots of hearts, like heart shapes, red or pink hearts in the comment and the chats. Let me know and let me gauge how far you guys have come while I pin my pattern onto the fabric. I have aligned the front piece in such a way that I have it on the folded edge here. I have my crouch piece on the folded edge as well. And I also have this on a folded edge. This I would need to cut a second one for on the other side, so my fabric is just enough. So this is good. This is good. Just going to go in to pin this. Crystal and Edwards is asking if you can reach me. Yes, of course. You can send me an email, kimdavedesigns@gmail.com. I think that email is on my about page on YouTube as well. If you wanted to ask me a question, or if you wanted to just I don't know, connect, then you can do that too. You can do that as well. Oh, okay. I see someone in Joburg. Is Nana K. Is connecting with Juntia. Please ask your cousin, or see if your cousin knows. You can help all my SA girls get their pattern master. That would be awesome. That would be really cool, because I've actually got a lot of like people in Kenya, people in Nigeria asking me, oh, how do I get my pattern master? Where do I get it from? And because I got mine online, that's what I always recommend. But if you know a sewing supply store in your area, share it, let us know. That would be really helpful. I see lots of red hearts. Companion at ADG cutting fabric out now. Amazing. Love to see that. Say what now? More red hearts coming through. Whoop whoop. Might just be able to finish this swimsuit today. Hey, I'm excited. Sorry, I apologize for the for the dance break. I'm excited. Do I ever have anyone I'm wearing this swimsuit to? Well, we'll wear it next year if we don't wear it this year. God's grace, the body will still be in shape by then to fit. Nana K says, I'm here, Kim. Oh, you're in the UK. So you're here in the Great Britain, but originally from SA. What's up? Wow. I admire people who actually have traveled from the motherland over here, maybe for work or for studies. The life is so different. But it's always like a learning experience. It's always a very cool learning experience. All right, let me know if you're done cutting out your fabric, because I know some of you are quick and sharp like this. Me, I'm still here pinning. I'm still here pinning my own. But I've already set up my sewing machine behind me, so once I cut, I'm ready to sew like straight away. We'll just go to the other side of the room and start stitching. And the assembly is very simple, it's very straightforward, so it should not be too difficult or too challenging to do, even if you are someone who is new to making patterns or who is new to sewing. I try to keep everything in a way that is easy to follow. Let's see. Ah, wow, Kimberly Chizava. It's my first attempt to swimsuit. That is actually really cool. Wow, I guess there are a lot of people who are trying out swimsuits for the first time. So I'm very curious to see if you're able to follow through and create your own swimsuits, because that would just be, it's such a satisfying feeling when you make something for yourself and it actually comes out nice and you're actually able to wear it. Oh. It's a feeling I even can't describe, honestly. I can't describe it. All right. I'm going to cut now. And pray that I have not made any mistakes, because there's no turning back. The scissors has gone in. I am cutting up my pieces. George is here giving us angles with the camera. Oh shit. Ta-na-na. Oh shit, videographer. Oh gosh, it's like coming in and zooming in and panning in. Could your partner ever? Could your partner ever? Oh Lord. All right, let's see the chat. Nana K is asking if I'll ever bring back one-on-one classes. I will. I plan to. I think because of COVID, I stopped doing them just for safety reasons, for mine and for whoever was coming. I stopped doing one-on-one classes, but I plan to. I used to do one-on-one classes for like a dress, a skirt. Oh, cutting this thing is hard. So I don't just know what I will be making one-on-one. Maybe I'll still continue with dresses, but give people the opportunity to decide what they want to make during those one-on-one classes. I think that's what I might do differently moving forward. But yes, I will be coming back with them, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Most likely announced on my Instagram, on my community page on YouTube, and on Facebook in the future once those are up and running again. I think I did them on Airbnb. I did them on Airbnb that time. That's what I did. Let's see. Faye and Caesar, all the way from St. Vincent and the how do you pronounce that? Grenadines? Kind of like sardines, but nardines. Where is that? I've never heard of that country before. Hey, I'm really in geography class today. And I'm cutting this very poorly. Please forgive me. Because I'm trying to stay seated so you guys can see me, but I'm just cutting this very roughly. Very roughly in the front. I'll go back and fine tune that. Where is that? St. Vincent and St. Please, if you know, let me know. Is that Europe? I've never heard of that country before. Wow, you really learn something new every day. Please do not cut the way I'm cutting. Please stand up and cut properly. I've been conditioned to cut like this because this camera is pointing at me. And if I stand up, all you will just see is my bust. So we do not want that, do we? There you go. Ewa. Let's see, can we cut through here and make a hole? Yes, amazing. Amazing. Okay, who is finished cutting? I want to know. Who has finished cutting? Let's make another poll and see who is done cutting their swimsuits. I will not be surprised. There's always that one person that is like Usain Bolt speed. Whenever I do live sewing sessions, because I used to do them on Zoom at one point, there was always that one person that was like, and they would do everything correctly, but it would be so fast. It's like, relax. So I'm pretty sure somebody would have finished cutting by now, even though I'm still cutting my fronts. Okay, let's set this aside. See, somebody has already finished cutting. Did I not say this? Renaissance artist finished cutting. I know you people too well. As in, somebody has already finished cutting. Okay, let me hurry up, please. Let me be quick. I just need to cut the back and the second of this one, and then I'm done. Then we can start sewing. Okay. I think it's because I'm pinning and cutting. I don't have a cutting mat on this table, else I would just put down my pattern weights and then just use like a rotary cutter, because that's another way you can cut stretch fabrics very quickly. If you have pattern weights, a cutting mat, and a rotary cutter, you just lay down the pattern, you put down the weights, and you just go around with the rotary cutter, and it's so easy, so quick, and so smooth. But I do not have that, so I'm going to be doing the old school version of you pin, you cut, and then you unpin again. Before you remove your patterns, please don't forget to cut your notches around the bust and any other part where there is a notch, because that will help joining pieces together a whole lot easy. Don't forget there is a competition to be won. I'm looking forward to seeing all your lovely, amazing swimsuits that you create. You've already seen my fabric, so you know what mine might look like, but I'm curious to see what kind of colors you guys use, what kind of prints, what changes and customizations you have made with yours. The winner is going to get £100 cash and is open to everyone worldwide. All you have to do to enter is stay engaged and interactive in the comment section of this live stream. You also would need to share a finished version of your swimsuits online and tag me at Kimday Designs and use the hashtag Sewing with Kim to enter the competition. Winner will be announced on the 19th of June on my community tab, so keep your eyes peeled for that so you actually know when the winner is announced, and you might just be the winner. All right, let's see. Okay, so from the poll of 9 votes, I can see that 44% of people are still cutting. So I know I'm in the 44%. I'm in the 56% of people that are still cutting, so I don't feel bad. So I'm not too slow. I am not too slow. But if you're done, you can cut your notches, you can set your pattern aside and prepare to actually start sewing. I'm going to be sewing on my domestic machine because I'm aware that not everyone has an overlocker. Now, the reason why I asked if you had an overlocker at the beginning of this live stream is because if you had an overlocker that actually trimmed and stitched, you could essentially join everything together with your overlocker and it just save you some time. But during that poll, I realized not a lot of people had an overlocker. It was like 50-50%. So I was like, you know what? I am actually going to sew this on my domestic machine because that's what majority of people during the live stream are going to use. So my mode of joining today is my domestic overlocker. So you're not alone if you're using yours as well. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. If you have any questions, don't forget to add them in the chat. One of my lovely moderators, either Stoikity or Elaine Wandia or Yagoda, would answer you if I miss your question or your comment. If I see it, I'll just answer it the way I'm answering it now. But sometimes they pass me and I don't see them. If you want me to see your comment, you can also use the super chat function, which would highlight your question or your comment, and I would actually see that. And you can donate whatever amount they are comfortable with from the selection of options there. You can also get the super stickers or super thanks to support the channel. This is not a compulsory thing, it's not a must, but just know it's there if you wanted to show your support one way or the other. It's there for you to use. It is where the chat, the live chat is. If you're wondering where to get any of the supers, they're just there for you to use. Just cutting out the rest of my swimsuit. I think I'll most likely wear this swimsuit as a bodysuit out, if I'm being very honest. Because the fabric is just so cute. I feel like this with a pair of shorts in the summer. Sorry, you'll catch me on my Instagram wearing this out. And then if I go on holiday again, I will definitely wear this on holiday. Because it's just so pretty. So cute. All right, back is all cut out. Hey, imagine if I make mistake at this point. I'll just start laughing. Because I do something when I'm faced with a situation that is stressful, that if I don't laugh, I'll just start crying. I'll just start laughing. You know when you just start laughing because you're like, if I don't laugh, I will cry. So I'll just start laughing. That's what I do. All right, I am cutting the last piece of my swimsuit here. And then we can get into sewing. Time check is 5:48, so it's just 12 minutes before 6. If you have to leave at 6, that's totally fine, but you're welcome to stay as well. I'm going to continue sewing because I think sewing is going to go very quickly. So I'll most likely be sewing for like another 45 minutes after 6, if I'm being honest. But if you want to leave, that's fine. This live stream will be available to watch on the channel, so you can come back to it in the future and go through it if you wanted to. Hey, if you wanted to do that. All right, Bianca Beja asked, I want my swimsuit to be as modest as I can make it. So how can I add length to the leg hole to make them more of a bike suit? Oh, I see what you mean. Let me show you with the fronts. Let me show you with the fronts. Oh. So basically concealing here more. So what you can do is make like mini shorts. So rather than curve it in like this, you would actually extend your pattern out to the hip. And then you know how shorts are shaped along the crouch, that's how your front would be. So once you make that, and you would have like a crouch seam actually showing. Let me just draw this quickly so you know what I mean. Where do I draw you? Let me get some plain paper. Thank you. Just to demo this quickly. You can use a thicker pen. Okay, so this say this is your center front. You have your waistline, bust, you have your hip. We have shaped it in like that. We have this, we have that. Just ignore how ugly this is. This you can shape out to your hip. Shape it out, have this to whatever vertical length you're comfortable with, and then you would actually go in and add a crouch seam there, so it looks like this. So what you have is a bodice and shorts attached, so it's kind of like a mini jumpsuit. If I understood your question correctly, that's what you would need to make. So from your waistline, you can mark your crouch depth, add how long you want the shorts or the extension from here to be, and then you draw in the crouch seam like you are creating a pair of shorts. So this you do for the front, this you do for the back, and you would have to add a seam on the center front, so you can add zip, buttons, or just have a simple seam if you're going to be having this crouch there. So I hope that works. That's also a way that you can adapt your swimsuits to create like a play suit, or something that you could possibly wear for like workouts, gymnastics, if that's what you are into. All right, so we have all of our pieces cut out. I'm just going to remove my patterns and get into sewing. So I have my bust pad one there. Just going to remove the other one and put right sides together, because that's what we're going to be sewing first. So let's put right sides together, just lay them out. Set them aside. Then I'm going to notch my patterns because I haven't notched them yet. Especially the waistline on the main swimsuit. I don't want to forget that. So let me notch this quickly. Notch my center back points. Alright, set the pattern aside. Just notch the other sides of my front as well. Okay, then take out the pins. And then we're going to go over to my sewing machine, which my lovely operations manager, George, has set up for me so nicely. And then we can start sewing. Now, I just have to say that if you finish your swimsuit and it's not perfect, it's okay. It's okay. I need to say that now because it would pain me if you create it and it's not perfect and then you beat yourself up or you feel some type of way. No. If you're making this for the first time especially, it's totally normal if everything does not come out perfect. What this experience will help you do is the next time you now make the swimsuit, you would know what to avoid because you've made those mistakes prior. So if the crotch was too tight, you know, okay, I need to extend my crotch depth by another ½ an inch. If it was too fitted on your body, you know, okay, next time I will not take away as much negative ease. If it's too high, you know, you can go and make a sexier one next time. Or if it's too low, you know, you can lift the neckline up the next time. So if it's not perfect, it's okay. I always tell this to people who make projects for the first time, like, please don't kill yourself if the thing it did not come out 100%. It's totally normal because it's the first attempt. All right, cool. So I'm just going to put right sides together of my swimsuit like this. So front and back. Where's my crouch piece? Hey, it's there. Just give me pass it. I was like, has it vanished? Thank you. George, why? Let me notch this and set this aside. Set this aside. This I'll be fixing later on. And I am going to go to my machine and start sewing. Okay, so crotch piece is there. Alright, so I think what I'm just going to do is prepare the things I want to sew and then take it to the machine and start sewing. So for the main body, I am going to put just pin side seams together. Don't sew this first though. It's this one that we need to sew first because that one would need to catch in the side seam as well. But you can just prepare this. So once you have that done, you just add it to the side seam here. I stitch it all together. Just match this edge to this edge. Lips and dance and body. All right. Yeah. So Nat Johnson says cutting stretch fabric with shears can be quite rough at times. I don't have a rotary cutter and Matt either, Kim. Yeah, honestly, like look at how rough. Look at how rough my front is. This is embarrassing. For someone who has a YouTube channel about fashion design, okay, let me not allow this to exist. It's funny how you catch things before me. Thank you so much, Renee. Renee P. Thank you so much. Whoa. Okay, I see there's a super chat from you. And you asked, how complicated would it be to, instead of having separate front and back, just combine them and have a seamless crouch area? That is possible. What you will need to do with that is after you make your patterns, you just tape them together along the crouch seam like this. You essentially will just do this. You will join them like that, and then you just have one long piece that when you cut on a fold, you cut this edge on a fold, one long piece like that, and then you don't have a seam on the crouch, and then you don't have a seam on the front, you don't have a seam on the back. So that is totally possible, and it's not complicated at all. Once you've made your pattern, you can just come here, just glue them together, and you have one long piece. And then you fold your fabric, match the folded edge to the side of your pattern, and you cut it, and you have one piece of your swimsuit, so you don't have to think about like a crouch seam. So it's not complicated at all, and it's totally doable, Renee. That's a very good point and a very good question. Okay, let's get into actually sewing. I am just going to start off with this piece here, and the first thing we're going to be doing with this this pair is we're going to be sewing the bottoms together, so we actually have it closed and we can fit the bust pads inside here. So I'm just going to put right sides together like this. Please ignore how rough I have cut mine. It's totally fine. I think rotary cutter gives you a much cleaner finish compared to like scissors when you cut stretch fabrics. So this I'm going to sew on my machine. I'm just going to take this to my machine behind me. Let's grab this and go. Okay. Ooh. Let me get my pins.
What's the other material?
Oh, it's just down the table. Hello. Hello from the other side. All right. So I have set my machine like this. I am using a normal straight stitch. I recommend using a stretch needle for the best outcome. I do not have that, so I am using what I have. And I'm going to be sewing on a 1 centimeter seam allowance, starting from one edge to the other. Just going to get right in. Remember to do your back stitch at the beginning and at the end though. Oh my, oh my. Okay, let's see how is this looking. All right, stitch looks good. I will also go in and stitch the top edges together. I was going to leave it open, but I think I'm going to stitch it closed because there's going to be a particular part of it that will not be cut in the neckline, and we don't want to have it exposed like that. So this I am going to match up on the center front edge. As you can see, my piece is not even perfect, Steph, but we move. We move. Progress over perfection, and you just like build and get better with time. Let me just add pins here to prevent things from slipping and sliding. Add one in the middle too. Just ensure that nobody runs away from where they are not meant to be. Where they are meant to be. All right, cool. That is done. Okay, I'm going to turn this inside out. All right, then I'm going to join the sides into the side seam of the main swimsuit. So I'm going to take this back to my table, and we're going to pin these side seams along the front into the swimsuit. All right, let me just travel back. Companion, I just saw the funniest comment. I'm sorry. Oh my god. And this, do you know why I'm laughing? Because I went back to Nigeria recently, and I can totally relate. The light problem in that country is actually just crazy and wild at this point. It's okay if you can't sew now. You can sew much later. If you don't have power or electricity now, that's totally fine. Especially if you use like an electric machine. The next thing I'm doing here is I'm just pinning this pad, this bust pad into this. This is the front, that is the back. Remember my back is lower, so I'm pinning this against the front side so it gets caught in the side seam. Just pin you in to ensure that everything is matching. So I'm going to stitch one side and then putting my bust pads through here before finishing up the arm curve, because if you close everything and the bust pads are not in, it's kind of, they lose their purpose at that point. So just get you in. You can also fix in your bust pads now before joining it into the side seams. If you feel that would be easier for you, that's totally fine too. I just want to join the side seam so everything is locked in one place before I continue sewing. Okay, so I'm going to go in to stitch up the side seams. If you have an overlocker, you can just overlock once and for all, but I am going to sew up 1 centimeter seam allowance, sew up on the other side as well, and then I'm going to do a zigzag stitch to secure my seam to ensure that nothing actually like falls off. I'm going to take this to my machine and actually get to sewing. Let's change it to 9.
Did it go off?
Yeah, it went off. I hope you guys can hear me because I think my microphone tripped off. But once I'm done sewing up the side seam, I'm going to switch to a zigzag stitch on my machine, and I'm going to use that as my overlock. My overlock stitch just to secure things on the inside. I'm going to do that for both seams. After doing this, I'm going to go in and trim down this seam. How is everyone doing? Are we on track with sewing? If you have any questions, please ask in the chat. Don't be afraid.
What's happening? The sound is back.
Oh, I didn't even realize the sound went off. I just noticed that the chat was quiet. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So I was busy chatting away, not realizing my lapel mic had gone off. And then I looked, I was like, oh no, it has gone off. All right, so that is what this part looks like. I'm just going to go in to trim off the excess here. That's going to give my swimsuit some security on the inside. And I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other side as well.
Can you show the excess?
Excess here. Like that.
The sound sometimes goes off the microphone. There's some issue with it, but we will fix it. Just let us know and we'll get it fixed. So there you go. Use this one maybe.
Thank you. All right. All right. All right. Okay. I want to trim off this extra bit. So I think I'm going to go back to the table or just grab my scissors maybe. So if you pass me my scissors, my fabric scissors, let me cut this off.
The white scissors, yeah?
Yeah, fabric scissors. Even George knows there is a fabric and a paper scissors in this household because, oh man.
You have an entire array of scissors.
I haven't, as in, I think I collect scissors just for fun at this point. Because the number of scissors I have is like, what am I doing with 6 scissors? Am I trying to build a gallery of how many scissors can a fashion designer have? Like, I have quite a lot. Alright, I'm just cutting out the extra along the seam allowance, just trimming off the edge so it looks tidy. I think it's one of my pet peeves, untidy insides of garments. Like, if it looks rough on the inside, oh god. Oh god, no. If I can avoid it, I would actually make it look tidy inside too.
Saying the sound of the sewing machine is relaxing.
Is it ASMR sewing? Even the sound of like the scissors cutting the fabric is quite soothing as well because it's like
The scissors we have.
Hmm?
I'm going to show people the scissors we have.
No, don't show them. Don't expose my secrets to the internet.
Scissors.
Ah, George, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it, George.
There's all the scissors.
Are you embarrassing me on the internet? Next time you'll not be on this live stream. If this is what you're going to be doing, no, you're not allowed. You're not allowed, mate. Okay, so this is all done. I am going to go in to finish off.
The elastic is coming. Where's the elastic? Sorry, where's the elastic? I don't know where you have it.
Oh, let me come to that table and show this next part.
Yes, please.
Let me demo this next part over there. All right. All right, all right, all right. I am back to the, oh yes, no sound. I'm so sorry, is the sound back up? I had to come back here to just read the chat. Sound is back, okay, whew. Whew. This mic keeps tripping off. It does not want to agree with me today. I don't know what I've done to the sound, but let me know if the sound trips off. We're charging the second mic at the same time.
Batteries are full. I think it's a configuration setting. And they need to be configured so they don't turn off.
Okay. Alright, so this is what my swimsuit is looking like. It's already coming together very, very nicely. I love how this marbly shape is on the front. And I think from this point onwards, everything is pretty much straightforward. So before I close off this arm curve, I just remember that I need to add the bust pads. That's what I'm going to do next. Let me just set them free and set them loose. Okay, so they're the same shape for both sides. There's no left or right, so I'm just going to grab one. And I'm going to pass this into the bust pads through this opening on the side. This opening on the side pocket.
So don't worry about that. I'm reading. The color in that dress is beautiful.
Thank you. My sound has gone off again. My sound have go.
What sound is that?
Is it? Can you hear me? Because my microphone has gone off again.
Really?
Everything was going too smoothly during this live stream. Something just had to go wrong.
There we go.
Renee says she can hear me, so I think the camera is probably picking it up.
Yeah, I might actually switch the camera entirely.
So Renee says we can hear you. Thank you so much, because the lapel mics keep switching off.
This is a long session, to be honest.
Carla Matthew says we can hear you but very low. I think it's because the microphone sound is what is picking up now. So that's why it's quite low.
It's because it's using the camera thing. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you, Operations Manager. Operations Manager. So I've put my bust pads in here. Thank you, Yagoda, for letting me know that the sound is back. This is going to be something that hopefully would not happen a lot of times before we round up. And I have put the bust pads in. So it's just inside this segment that were created here. And I put it in through the opening here. So I've put the left and the right one in. And I'm going to shift it away so I don't stitch it into this arm curve there. So once that is in, yes, thank you, Renee, for letting me know that you can hear me now. I don't know why the microphone just says, today I will torture you, and that is what it's doing. But would it affect me? No. Just let me know when the sound trips off so we can, because we have two mics, we can put the other one in while this one is charging.
What about now? Go ahead.
What about now?
Sorry, go ahead.
What about now?
You can say what you just said.
The top I'm wearing is from my new collection. It's the Ori top. It's available on the Kim Dave store, shop.kimdave.com. That's what I have on today, for anyone who is curious. Okay, so I am going to go in to finish off the arm curve and the leg opening, join the shoulder seam, the crotch seam, and add the crotch piece to finish off the swimsuit. Oh. Oh man. Okay, let me just wait. Can you guys hear me now?
They can hear you because the camera is picking it up. It's not the mic. You can take it off, in fact.
Okay, cool. So I just want to be sure that you guys can hear me. Just want to be sure that you can hear me before we continue to this next step, because this next step is Bianca says it's good now. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you, thank you. Can we put up a poll to ask?
What do you want to ask?
If everyone can hear me clearly.
Oh, people can hear you clearly because I'm testing.
Oh, okay,
I've got the feed
brilliant,
on.
brilliant.
I can hear you.
All right. Cool. Okay, so now I'm going to start off with this side. So I've pinned in this side of the bust pad bag in there, and I'm going to take my elastic, and the way I'm going to finish off the arm curve is I am going to start from one end. You kind of will use the elastic like you use a bias binding. So you would sew it in like this across, like so, and then after sewing it in, you would fold it inwards and then do a zigzag stitch to sew the elastic down on the inside of the swimsuit. This you would do for the two arm curves, the neckline, as well as the crotch seam. So I'm going to start off with this edge like this. Oh, the sound is low again. Let's try and fix that. Maybe we should turn on this one.
It's not off. It's just low.
Oh, it's low. Okay.
But I can hear. It's just a bit lower.
Okay. I'm going to go to my machine and start sewing. I apologize for the sound. The sound has just decided to do its thing today.
So they will only be able to hear you if you turn on the thing.
That's fine.
So you can turn it on, but it's not going to last for very long.
All right.
One second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to stitch in.
What are we going to do now?
You can just use a camera mic on this one, the one next to sewing machine.
Yeah, I have an idea. Okay, so the way this is going to work is you have to hold the
That's
thing.
okay.
So the microphone is there.
Can you guys hear me now?
They can hear you very clearly. Let me get rid of this one.
We've literally had to connect a power bank to
Yes, the power bank.
the power bank
There.
to my microphone. Talk
Okay.
about problem solving 101. Wow. Okay. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm sewing the elastic along the edge of my arm curve, and I'm sewing the edges of the side of the swimsuit and the side of the bust pads bag as well. This is actually quite tricky to stitch because everything moves. So I'm very slow. I'm actually very, very slow doing this. the other side. Okay, gonna cut this out. Can you guys hear me? We've tried to do like a back setup for solving the audio problem. Let me just check that I stitched everything in. They can hear me? Okay, cool. Oh, I think I missed a spot there. I missed a spot here. I'm just going to fix that. I think the moral of the story is once you guys get a gist of how this finishing works with just this arm curve, you'll be able to apply the same rule. Just going to go in to sew this again because it skipped on itself. You can apply the same rule on the legs and on the neckline. Who is sewing with me? Let me know in the chat. Leave lots of thumbs ups if you are sewing, if you are following through, if you're enjoying the live stream. Even though we've had technical issues, I'm actually really enjoying this. I enjoy creating stuff. It's just something that, I don't know, I just enjoy it. I like watching things come to life. Okay, let's sew this close. Let's try it one more time. Okay, I'll cut it there. Cool. All right, so once that is in, I am going to go in and fold this edge inwards like this, sort of like that. Then with a zigzag stitch, I'm going to sew the elastic against the fabric on the wrong side.
I just wanted to say it's very bright near the light, so if you want to show, just
yeah.
back.
Okay. So this is how I'm going to fold it in, kind of like how you use like a bias binding or a ribbon to finish a seam. So I'm going to fold it back like this against itself and use a zigzag stitch to finish it off. So you want the zigzag stitch to catch the elastic, and you can keep the stitch within the elastic if you don't want it to go onto the fabric, but it's going to show on the right side. So you should use a thread color that would be nice when it's visible against your fabric, which is why I chose this like brown, natural brown color. So I've switched to my zigzag stitch and I'm going to be sewing in like so. Oh, oh, this thing has a mind of its own. Oh my God. Oh my God. Just folding and sewing, no rush, because with curved seams you honestly cannot rush it. And it makes a really nice pattern as well, the zigzagging. Thick. This is the thick side. This is the juicy side. Oh. The machine is like, no, Auntie, please, no. I'm sorry. Just bear with me.
thing is not the overlocker.
Yeah, the thing is I was going to use an overlocker, but I know not everyone has an overlocker, so I tried to use a tool that I knew most people would have. Okay, we're finishing, we're leaving the thick zone. Out of the thick zone. Oh. All right, let's take a look and see how this turned out. Oh, it skipped some stitches. I must have pulled it too hard. But this is what the right side looks like. It skipped there. Why did you skip? Why are you skipping to your loo? Okay, this side looks a lot nicer. So this is what it looks like when you've turned it out. Makes a really cool design, like the zigzagging against the fabric. That looks really, really cool. So we would need to repeat the same thing for the other arm curve, for both legs, and the neckline as well. I think I'm going to do the shoulders. So like finish the other arm curve, join the shoulder before I do the neckline as one continuous stitch. You could also do the neckline one side at a time. So do this one first, do the back first, and then go back in to close it off. But I'm just going to go ahead to work on the second one. The second one.
A lot of people are leaving, as in like, because they're finished. And they're not finished.
Has anybody finished?
They need to run.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, if you need to leave now, because it's 6, because it's like, what, past 6 at this point, that's totally fine. Once you get the gist of how to close off, how to finish the folded edges of the armhole and the leg, you will be able to finish this on your own, at your own pace. That's totally fine. I'm just going to finish this up until the edge. So if someone comes back to watch this later on, they see what the finished swimsuit looks like. That's my plan. So you feel free to hang out with me. Feel free to hang out with me if you're going to be here after everyone else has left. Me and you can continue sewing. That's totally fine. This thing just moves, man. It's moving. It's moving. Nah, this thing I'm going to wear as a top. I'm sorry. This is too pretty to just be worn to the pool. This is so cute. Like, the fabric has a very lovely sheen. Oh. Even with like black trouser and a black blazer, this would make a very cute top. So I will.
Crystal's still here.
Is Crystal still there? Hey Crystal, how you doing? It's me and you now. It's me and you. Don't forget to enter the competition, guys. If you're still here and you're still watching, you can still enter the competition where you could win £100. That is going to go to the person with the best swimsuit recreation. To enter, you would need to, just stay active and engaged on the live chat right now, and then share your finished swimsuit on social media. Tag me at KimDameDesigns and use the hashtag SewingWithKim to enter.
That's what they're saying. She's here for moral support.
Who? Oh yeah. Oh, thank you. I think when I looked at the time at 5 o'clock and I realized we hadn't finished the pattern, I was like, yeah, we're gonna be here for a while. We're gonna be here for a while, mate. So I just mentally prepared myself to be here for longer.
Alan is saying we're here till the end.
Oh, that's what I like to see. We have some ride or die K divas in the house. Yes, yes, yes. But if you have to leave, please leave. I beg. I don't want anybody to not feel like they're here. And if they have to be somewhere else, that's totally fine. If you have to leave, I understand. But if you're staying, what's good? What is good? What is good? Ah, this fabric moves. Hey! This thing is moving like it has a mind of its own. Wow. Wow. Okay. No, don't. Ah, I wish I could just overlock this thing. I think since I got my industrial sewing machine, I've also reached a place where whenever I come back to this domestic, I'm like, why is this thing so slow? Okay, let's check. Everything was cut. Everything is in. Awesome. I'm going to go back in and flip it and sew it. Change this to my zigzag stitch. If you're still around and you're still in the house and you're enjoying what you're seeing so far, feel free to use any of the supers. You can use the super chat, you can use the super stickers, or you can use the super thanks. The support goes a long, long way. All right, we're flipping and sewing. I'm trying to keep the stitch inside of the elastic, but sometimes it comes out. Sometimes it just rolls out. Why are you laughing, George?
Oh, Ellen's saying she's going for the third cup of tea.
Third! I had one before we started though. I had like a coffee. I think when we finish I'll have some lasagna. I cooked lasagna before the live stream. So that's going to be my reward at the end.
Yeah, mine too.
A nice big plate of lasagna. So for those of you that are still here, I have a question, okay? So, how are you guys feeling about the content on the channel so far? Are you enjoying it? Are you over it? Is there something you guys would like me to try out? Because I think I'm reaching a point where I love what I do, but I feel like it might become boring to some people. Oh, I don't know, maybe it's just in my head. But let me know your thoughts. You can just like share feedback right now. If you are enjoying like the fashion design videos, if you want to see me try out something else, if you want to collaborate with more creators, which I'm always open to, let me know. I am curious to hear what you have to say. The sound is really soothing. The sound of the machine just going. Okay, arm curves are in. I think I want to actually do the neckline. There is no right or wrong way to assemble this. We have our bust cups in. That you can just rejudge once the swimsuit is done, because they move around there, which is fine. You want them to sort of like have a little bit of freedom while they're there, and you just adjust it to your liking. So at this point, I think I am going to do the neckline, to repeat the same thing on the front and on the back neckline. And then that way, once I'm done with the necklines, I can join the shoulder seams and I'm done with the top, and then I can go on to work on the bottom or the legs. So I think that's the order of events that I am going to follow, but you can do yours the other way if you want to like do it that way, whatever way you feel comfortable with. Tell me, George, what are the chats looking like? So I asked people to tell me what they wanted to know, like feedback wise.
So someone is asking, can you use this type of fabric to make a bodycon dress?
Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can. You can adapt this pattern to make a bodycon dress as well. You just need to add sleeves. That's what you want.
I want to live on the bodice pattern.
Really? Boy, I have a tutorial. You still want...
It's all about the gist, you know?
Is it? It's just the vibes. Are you guys really here to learn, or are you just here to vibes with me? What? Tell me the truth. Let's put the devil to shame. Why are you here? Are you here to learn?
And we'd love to see more live stream and best practices on finishing garments.
Ah, okay.
And more small batch production.
I feel like I want to...
Production / business guides.
That's very useful. I feel like I would want to write down those points. Those are very good video ideas. Like,
she loves how you collab with other creators.
Oh, thank you, El.
Bianca, I love it. Your uploads are so educational. I've learned so much from you over the years. My favorites are the pattern pieces.
Yeah. I found that my pattern pieces, thank you so much, Bianca, for that lovely feedback. I find that my pattern videos always get the most views over time. So those I will definitely keep making, for sure. I think, more like basic pattern blocks. Those I'll definitely keep making.
Then there is... someone enjoying the vlog style documentary videos. With lots of hearts. You can see it over there.
Thank you. Thank you. I know this was not the plan. We weren't meant to be here for this long, but life happens and here we are.
I pronounced the first name correctly.
Oh, please. Please. George and I, this is just pure bands between George and I at this point. This was meant to be like, a very strict and serious live stream, but here we are, just like having good old conversation.
I don't think it has to be that strict. It's all like cool.
Oh, I don't mind it. I actually like it this way. It's more like relaxed and chill. I love.
I'm enjoying a lot of your content, including the lifestyle vlogs. I love watching you live.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you so much. I think you get to a point as a creator where because you've made videos for so long, you now start to worry, oh, should I do something different? Is this becoming boring and stale? But if you guys still love them.
She's saying she likes your vlogs from Nigeria.
Oh yeah, those are nice. I think I did those vlogs. I did the Ninja series for myself, if I'm being very honest. Yeah. I did. When you want to document a moment, so you can go back and rewatch it as many times. That was why I did that Ninja vlog, if I'm being very, very honest. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed it too.
Everyone's saying she loves your consistency. That you have maintained your confidence.
Thank you. Thank you, Ellen.
Your videos to teach in class.
I know, she told me one time, I think that's in Gima one day. She told me one time that she actually uses some of my videos to teach. I'm like, that is wild, man. That is actually wild. Hey, me that I'm still learning here. Hey, God, thank you.
Tayo is saying, I started my pattern making process with your video.
Did you? Pattern making is so cool though. It's one of those things that you never stop learning. There will always be one new technique, one new skill, one new way to do something. So it's like a never-ending journey of learning different things. I think that's why I enjoy making patterns. It's tasking, it can be boring, it can be mundane, and I find that you spend more time when you're making a garment if you are doing the patterns, but when you do it right, it's so satisfying. And then if you want to recreate that same style again in the future, you just need to go and find that pattern, change it up for the client, change up the size, the style lines, the necklines, and you just like copy and paste, basically.
So there's a lot of other comments here. One saying, so Renee is saying, I love the wedding vlogs, and she's getting married, and everyone dresses too.
Are you? We need to put the clapping, the audience. We need to do the audience sound for people making.
Here it is.
This is for you, Renee, for making your wedding dress. I'm looking forward to see what you make.
She didn't say she was making a wedding dress. She was just saying she's making dresses and she's getting married. So it could be that she's making the wedding dress.
Even if she's making dresses for just the bridesmaids, you know how hard it is to make bridal wear? Hey, God, it's actually hard. The styles, the fits, please, my dear, well done. If nobody will clap for me, I'll clap for you very well because I know how hard it is. I know how difficult and challenging it is, my dear.
And then there's congratulations to getting married, because we didn't even really say congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Renee. Congratulations. We're here getting hyped about the fact that you are making bridal dresses. But my dear, congratulations. Don't mind me. Don't mind George. Don't mind us.
And she's going crazy. She's saying, girl, I told you, even if you post a video boiling water.
Ellie, this girl, give her one day. She's such a beautiful soul. You know when you just meet, you've never met the person in like real life, but you know when you can just tell like this is a beautiful soul. That girl is just God bless the day you were born, my dear.
Somebody's asking him what she's saying, he's asking if you make those zigzag stitches with the sewing machine. I have the same sewing machine. I have the same machine, but they never come out that clean.
Oh, really?
What stitches?
I use stitch number 4.
Zigzag.
Yeah. So there are different type of zigzags on my machine. There is 2, which is really tight. There is 3, 4, and there are different types of 5s. I use stitch number 4. And I think the secret is just let it run. Don't pull it. Don't make it do anything that it doesn't want to do. I think it's also worth testing it a few different times. I made a sample before we even started this live stream, just to be sure that it was the kind of length I wanted, even though it skipped at certain parts. Like I did a quick sample just to check that everything would work well. So I say it might be worth sampling the fabric. Sampling, by what I mean is just make like a small piece just to check the different stitch lengths on your machine. Choose the one you're comfortable with and just let it run itself. Don't pull or tug it too much, else the thing will just go wild. It will go crazy. Alright, so almost there. We're almost there. So who is entering the competition? Who? I want to know. Who is entering? What color of fabric would you be using? Are you going to use print like me, or are you going to use like a solid color? Are you also going to change up your swimsuit style? I'm very curious. I want to see what people are going to do. Because I know somebody's going to come with like one badass V neckline. I trust my KD bars. You people never disappoint. Like you never disappoint. Whoop, whoop. All right. Ooh, we're almost there. Also, I've done this neckline. We can close the shoulder seams and then do the legs, crouch, and we're done. All right, let's turn this one. It actually looks neat too. Not too bad. In my head, I was like, this is so messy, but now.
I wonder if. with the stream is kind of like going in and out. It just did something weird. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming.
What does that even mean?
I just think we've been streaming for very long.
It's like this is too long.
I think BT doesn't like it.
I'm just gonna continue. Because remember it's recording all over there, so if it stops on YouTube, I can upload the edited version later on. Because YouTube is like, you've been streaming for too long, woman. Next time we know, we need 4 hours for a sewing live stream. Jay, how are you doing? Thank you for sticking around. Thank you, thank you.
Is asking if you can explain the plastic. Sorry,
the elastic.
The elastic part again.
Yes, I will. Let me just close. Let me join the shoulder seams, and then I would explain the elastic part when we do the legs, because I'm done doing the shoulder, and the neckline. So this is what it's. We're good. All right, so this is what my swimsuit is looking like. This is what we're looking like so far. I would explain the elastic turning out again when we do the legs.
Let me see.
But this is what we look like so far.
Sorry, I'm just moving around so much.
Just get the arms.
Oh yeah, just hold it there.
We'll give this a nice press to relax all of the stitching. But this is what the swimsuit is looking like. Alright, I'm going to close up the shoulder seams. So we have the top part of the swimsuit all done and out of the way. The shoulder seams I'm going to sew and do the zigzag. If you have an overlocker, you can just overlock. You can overlock in one go, so you don't have to do like double steps like I am doing. That saves you just a little bit of time. All right, let's join these. Let's join these ladies together. Let's pray this machine does not complain, because it does not like thick seams. Please cooperate with me. Thank you. All right, the next one over here. Oh, sorry. This machine, you have to beg it as you're using it so it does not just go crazy. It's like, sorry, oh. Sorry, calm down. Calm down, my dear. All right, so it's stitched in. Trusty old zigzag. just finish up the inside, and then I think I might trim it down. Okay, so that is the shoulder seam done. Just going to trim this down a little bit. All right, so I'm going to leave the other side and finish it off camera. Still, I think it's still reconnecting even. Let me know if you can hear me. If you can still hear and see me, let me know, because the connection is buffering in and out. I just want to finish this at least, so when I save it for rewatch, everything is there for anyone who joined late or who wasn't here from the beginning. If you have any questions, if you missed a particular segment, please leave it in the chat. The connection keeps tripping in and out. I think it's because the live stream is going on for longer than planned. Okay, second to last step for this elastic bind process. I think this is where the work of creating swimsuit really comes in, doing this along the legs. Now, if you do like the reversible method, I suggest you check out Edgewater Avenue. She does swimwear pattern content on YouTube, and she has shared like different tutorials on how to create like reversible swimsuits. Because when you make a reversible, the elastic you would stitch on the seam allowance on the inside of the swimsuit. That's like one advantage the reversible swimsuits have over this method here. Okay, just sewing in the elastic along the edge. This is the right side of the fabric. Do we actually have, is anyone going on holiday again this year? I'm curious. Can we put up a poll? I just want to see.
I think we need to wrap it up soon because the connection. This is what people see.
Renee says she's going to create a reversible one, and that way you don't need to do these steps the way I'm doing them here. Yeah, check out Edgewater Avenue. She does amazing swimsuit content. Oh, Eiling. Oh, it's 9 p.m. over there. Jesus. Please, if it's really late where you are and you can't stay to the end of this live stream, please, by all means, you're more than welcome to leave. I'm just trying to finish so that if anyone watches this back again, you have the full process there. That's what I'm trying to do. Also, I would have stopped by now because we're 1 hour over the scheduled time. So I totally understand if you have to leave. Crystal and Edward says come to Trinidad. Please, I will come. Oh. Anybody wants to fly me out to Trinidad, I will gladly come. Because the weather just looks amazing. The people seem so friendly. I will gladly come, my dear. If I have a reason to come or maybe book a holiday, I will let you guys know for sure. For sure. Okay, there's a question here from Chinelo Wanko. So, would like to ask, how would you go for a reversible swimwear? I mean, stitches not showing. There's a particular way you have to sew it together. I actually sampled the reversible one. It's not hard. There's just a particular way you need to turn things inside out, so the stitches are not showing on the side. I am going to leave a link to Edgewater Avenue's channel in the description of this video. So once I'm done making this swimsuit, I'll actually go back in and do that, so you guys can actually see how to do the reversible one. The reversible one, you use the same pattern to cut the front and the back. You won't need to do the crouch or that bag. You won't need to do all those for the reversible style. So in terms of like construction, in terms of patterns, you make less patterns for the reversible swimsuit, but construction is just a little tricky. It's not hard. It's just tricky. That's all it is. Hey, come on. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, we're almost done.
There was a question from someone. Wait. So she's saying, please explain the elastic part again, the way you're finishing it.
Sure.
It was while we were having issues.
Yeah. The internet is like, we've had enough. Okay. Anyone there says the sewing machine gives her heart attack every time she sees it. Why? It's just a sweet machine. What has the sewing machine done to you, Ngima? Tell us the truth. Say the truth and put the devil to shame. What has the sewing machine done to you that you're scared of it? Is it the sound? I actually like the sound of the sewing machine. It's very soothing. I mean, just like... Oh, I see. Don't worry, you'll get it soon. This particular machine, I'll be the Brother LS14. You'll get it soon. Speak it into the universe and it will come to pass. You'll get it soon. It's a really good beginner sewing machine, that I will say for sure. Very, very good. Guys, we're almost done. Hey, we actually finished your swimsuit today. Do you know the joy? Okay, I am doing the last part of the leg. Now this I have stitched like this. I have stitched it this way. So I'm going to turn it like this because I know Juntia asked earlier on how I did it. So I'm going to turn this like this and then do the zigzag stitch like that. That's the plan. Just see 58 people watching. Wow, you guys! I thought I'd be left alone by now. Thank you for rolling with me. If you're just joining, we are making a swimsuit. We're almost done actually. We made the sewing pattern earlier on. We cut and now we're just rounding up the swimsuit. Some people are making with me. This is going to be saved for rewatch if you joined late, so you can go back and watch it again. There is a competition where you can win £100 for the best swimsuit recreation. Tag me on your finished recreation pieces and use the hashtag with Kim. Also, feel free to use the super chat, the super thanks, and the super stickers. That way you can donate to the channel, whatever capacity you're comfortable with. so we can keep making amazing content. Yes, so Chisa Mokafo, yes, it's kind of like fixing it. It's literally the same way you fix a bias. That is how you use the elastic on this thing. It's literally the same way. And you use the zigzag to join it, so when it stretches, the stitch does not break. That's why we're using the zigzag stitch to sew it on the inside. So yes, you're totally right. You are right, my dear. The end is near. George is here eating lasagna next to me. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Oh my God. Hey, I'm done with the last leg. Thank you, Jesus. Wow, we're actually finishing this swimsuit. The joy. The joy in my heart. We are finishing the swimsuit today. Ooh. So the list of materials and measurements are in the description box if you're just joining in. You can also scroll back to the beginning of this live chat, this live stream, to see how to make the sewing patterns if you're just joining in as well. This would be available for rewatch if you want to watch it later on. The last leg is done! Oh my God! Okay, we'll finish in the next like 10 minutes. Wow. Okay, this is actually coming together really nicely. All right, so I'm going to put the crouch seams together like so and sew them up. Sew this up like this. Thank you so much, Mingima, for being such an amazing moderator, answering all of the questions for people who maybe missed a point that I mentioned, or I forgot to share. Thank you. Appreciate you showing up for the fellow K-Divas in the house. Thank you very much. I'm just going to sew up the crouch seam like so. I'm gonna try and finish in the next like 15 minutes. That would be amazing. All right. So now I'm going to get that crouch piece and use it to finish off this crouch area. I'm just realizing I could have added it first before doing this, but that's okay. That is totally fine. If you could please pass me the crouch piece. It's on the table somewhere. Yes, that one, that tiny piece. All right, so this I'm going to stitch onto the swimsuit. I'm just thinking, do I want to use the right or the wrong side? Let me use the plain side. Let's use the plain side like this. So let me look for the back of the swimsuit. This is looking nice. It's actually looking really nice. I feel good now. Before I was worried that it wasn't as cute, but it's looking nice. Okay. So I'm going to match this to the edges like that. And I feel like I'm going to sew this in such a way that the stitch is not visible. Can we do that? Yes, let's do that. So I think I'm going to sew this like that. Or should I sew it in one swoop? Let's do the zigzag, because that way to conceal the edge as well. Okay. So I'm just going to pin this down like this, matching middle point to middle point. And be sure to put the right side of the crouch piece to the right side of the swimsuit, because you know one side is for the front and one side is for the back. So I'm going to match it like that. This particular step is optional. I just want to have it there so that this part is not riding, it's not making me uncomfortable. So when I have the swimsuit on. Okay, let's see. There's a question here from Say What Now. Please, Priscilla, expound on it. Let me just scroll up on the chat. Let me find that question.
I don't know if you'll find it. I can't see it.
I can't see the question. Can you please ask the question again? I think I've missed it and I'm going back on the chat and I can't find it. So if you could please ask it again so I can see it now, like in real time. I can't seem to see it though. It has vanished. Just streaming down this corner. Okay. So Elling is this is a question from Say What Now, and is asking if it's possible to do a twist front design and how to go about it. Yes, it is possible. You will create your front swimsuit design. So after you've made like the simple draft, your neckline and everything, and then you know the way we did the twist front design on the dress, you make those changes on your swimsuit. I think that's what you do if you want to make like a one-piece swimsuit that has a twist front. So you slash and spread on where possible, and I think that's how you would create that design. I think so. I haven't tried that yet for swimsuits, so I don't know if it will work, but I think it should. Because if you follow the same, if you work from the same basic swimsuit plan that we did earlier on, and then you make changes from that, and then you create your back and any other corresponding patterns, it should actually stay and it should work. I hope that answered your question. Juntia Rampo is asking, if I was using an overlocker to join the swimsuit, how would the elastic part work? So basically you would, if it's the overlocker, if it's the type of overlocker that does not trim as you sew, you would add your overlocker as you're overlocking the edge. You add your elastic as you're overlocking the edge. So as you're feeding the fabric in, you add the elastic band and then you feed it through, and then you come back, you turn it inside out, and then you stitch it down. That's how I believe you would do this if you're stitching it down with an overlocker. I hope that made sense. I hope it made sense. Okay, I am going to go back in here. So I have pinned in the crouch piece. Let me just show you guys what I've done, because I've just been here pinning and I've not been saying what I'm doing. So this is the last step, but I have pinned in the crouch piece like this, and I folded in the edges along the side, and I think I'm going to do a zigzag stitch. Initially I was going to do a straight stitch, but I think I'm going to do a zigzag stitch too, on this edge and on this edge as well, and that's going to join the crouch piece onto this bottom part of the swimsuit. This step is optional. You can have your swimsuit finished once you join the crouch, but I just wanted this piece to just prevent this part from rubbing and irritating me as I wear this. So this is the last thing I'm going to be doing. So I'm just going to do a zigzag stitch there, zigzag stitch here, and I want to try and keep it inside so it only shows on the inside and doesn't go over the edge of the fabric. I hope that made sense. All right, let's finish this baby. And people say sewing is easy. Here we are making a swimsuit. Almost 3 hours now. But I'm glad we're actually finishing. I'm so glad, and I'm thankful for all of you that actually stayed this far. Babe, they can see you in the background eating. Sure, you know. George is having a feast in the back. My dear, he's eating when I'm here. And I'm here slaving away on a Sunday evening. You're there eating.
So I'm doing nothing.
No, you're helping me. I'm kidding. You know I'm playing. You know I'm playing now. Hey. You know I'm playing with you. Okay. trying to conceal all the, yeah. Alright. Finishing up this part. And trim away this corner here so it doesn't show. This is the last step to finish your swimsuits, and I can show off the final piece at the end. Julia says she'll stick to her domestic machine for this. Honestly, like, because I was like, oh, should I do this on my industrial? Should I do this on my domestic? I was like, whoa, I beg, let me just do my zigzag that I'm familiar with, and it works. So this is what it looks like. It's not the prettiest stitch. That's what it looks like on the inside, and that's what it looks like on the outside as well. So avoid making the same mistake I did. Try and match the crouch seam edge to edge, because this is not very pretty. But I've made the mistake so you don't have to. That's the whole point of you guys watching me do this. You can avoid like mistakes I've made, and the whole experience will just be smoother for you. All right, last step. Let's do the side. All right, get you in. Crystal and Edward is asking when is my next tutorial. I think my next tutorial will be next weekend. I'm actually working on such an exciting project. I love the way this project is turning out. It's one of those things that some people will like it, some people will not, but I'm just having an amazing time making it, so I'm going to have fun creating this project. It will be up on Saturday. My usual upload times are Saturdays at 5:30 or 6 p.m. GMT. That's my normal upload time. Ooh, sorry, we're almost done. Hey, the machine is crying. It's like, leave me alone. We're almost done, eh? Thank you for cooperating with me today. And we are done. Time check, 3 hours and 17 minutes. That's how long this thing took. Wow. Thank you to everyone who joined this live stream. I'm going to show you guys the finished swimsuit quickly before we end. I'm just shift my machine to the side so I can lay my piece down flat on the table.
You can put it here.
Oh, do we go back to that table? Okay, yeah. Let's go back to the high quality table, the high resolution table. All right. We are done. We are actually done. Guys, we finished this swimsuit. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have done. So this is a swimsuit all done. I think I'll post some pictures later in the week. I'll most likely wear this with like shorts. I won't wear it like bikini style, but I'll definitely wear this on holiday. So let's see. This is what it looks like all done. This part I think I would have done differently if I were to do this again. I think I would have added it first before joining in the crouch seam, so that way it's a smoother finish. But this is what it looks like. Now that you know that this is what this method looks like, you can do it the other way. Because I see Elaine's commenting, I think when it comes to the leg seam, it's better done after joining the crouch, so that you can attach the crouch piece, then attach the elastic as a circular seam. That makes so much sense. So you can see how this turned out. It still works, so, but it's not the neatest of jobs. So what Elaine is recommending, and I totally agree with, is, so you see how we've done it now. What would make a nicer finish is you join the crouch seam, you add this piece on the side, and then you then go in and add your elastic as on a circular piece. So that way everything is like finished off on one edge. That way just like it's nice and clean and smooth. But this is what the swimsuit looks like all done. I'm actually very happy and I'm very impressed. I didn't think it was going to come out this nice. This is my first time making a swimsuit from scratch. I am very pleased. It's not perfect. There are a few things I'll correct, mistakes here and there, but thank you so much for watching this with me. I will post pictures later of my swimsuits. Let me turn this inside out so you guys see what it looks like from the right side. So the neckline is higher on the front. This is the finished swimsuit. I think I'll give it a slight press later on to just relax all of the stitching. This is what it looks like. This is the front, the back. This is the front neckline. This is the back neckline, which is slightly lower. You can see the bust cups peeking through. That is going to give me some support while I have this on. I look forward to seeing your recreations. Don't forget to enter the competition. Get yourself that prize money. If you enjoyed this, share it with anyone that you think will find it inspiring to watch. It will be available on the channel for rewatch, but I think I would edit it down to like a shorter 30-40 minute tutorial for anyone who is watching this again in the future. But thank you so much. Thank you, Yagoda. Thank you, Wanta Rampo. AE29PA coming through with the super. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is like the second and the third. Like, I don't take any of it for granted. Nothing is too small. I'm very, very grateful for being here for the last 3.5 hours. Thank you, Chinelo, Crystal, Ellen, Jontia. Who else is here? Who else is here? Who else is here? Renee, Bianca, Marley, George, Antune, who is our amazing operations guy. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Chisom Okafo, for joining. Thank you, Nana K. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hopefully the next live sewing session we'll do something simpler, so we don't stay as long. We'll also try and plan it in such a way that we save time before we come on the live stream. But I'm going to love you and leave you at this point so you can get on with your evening, enjoy your dinner, and yeah, thank you. Bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.